connecting to the real nerds is so easy. You can go to our website, realnerdspodcast.com. You can like us on Facebook. We have a Twitter account, @RealNerds. We also have Instagram. You can call us, 720-6nerds5. You want to email us? You can do that too, realnerds@gmail.com. Thanks for listening, and enjoy the show. Welcome, boys and ghouls, to a spooktacular edition of Real Nerds Podcast. I'm Ryan.
I'm James.
I'm Zach.
I'm the bad Bradley.
I love it.
Oh.
This week on Real Nerds Podcast, we're doing something different. We are doing our Halloween spooktacular edition.
And we're going to scare the shit out of each other.
Nobody wanted to see
Totally.
Inferno, huh?
Nope.
This is what happens when I'm gone. I'm gone for a week, and you guys lose faith in Tom Hanks. I just don't understand.
If they had a 9 o'clock showing, I would have seen it this morning.
It's not that I lost faith in Tom Hanks. It's when I see previews for Inferno, and it looks like a TV cable movie with really horrible writing.
Yeah, it looks like one of those Ronnie Howard movies.
Yeah, it looks like a Dan Brown novel.
Somewhere Dan Brown's just crying in the rain like Ducky.
Has anyone read the Da Vinci Code?
No, my dad did.
Shit, did your dad like it?
I don't remember. He reads a lot of things. He likes most things.
It's good air.
But if he reads a lot, I'm guessing he probably didn't like it.
I don't know. He's reading through the Harry Potter books right now. He likes those.
Yeah, the Harry Potter books are good. Anyways, so Da Vinci Code is, made like they call it the summer reading.
Of love. Oh.
Like beach books, I guess they call them.
Sure, yeah.
So there's literally
like,
chapters that are a paragraph long.
Yeah.
And it's really obnoxious.
I didn't read it.
Yeah, it's not good.
Yeah, but I like Ben Foster.
Yeah, me too.
So maybe I'll go check it out. But anyway, we're here to talk about horror movies.
Yeah, we're doing a horror film. Actually, we're doing a top 10 horror films of all time for some of us. For me, because I'm such a horror movie fan, this was actually really hard for me because I was struggling with, do I tell people my favorite horror films of all time, or am I going to give them my playlist of Halloween movies that I watch pretty much every year? Because while I believe Bride of Frankenstein is a great horror film, is it one that I put in every Halloween to get me in the Halloween kind of spirit? You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's understood.
And so I decided that I was going to do like a Halloween playlist.
Okay,
where
that's cool.
These are because obviously no one can see this because this is a podcast, but in my collection of films, I separate them by genre, and my horror section is literally half of my movie collection.
Right.
So, I see a lot of horror films.
It's funny because I did, this was also hard for me because I'm not a huge horror fan.
Exactly. So I'm
it's
interested to
why,
see your
like,
list.
I thought about, like, okay, I can go super non-traditional. I can, like, shake it up a little bit. But I think you'll actually be surprised that, like, when I was done with my list, I was like, holy shit, like, these are 10, like, these are horror movies. Like, these are 10 horror movies that I genuinely will watch almost any time.
Yeah, and there's going to be some on here, obviously, that are classics that I watch all the time. And then there's other ones that are garbage, but I like watching them because it's kind of like...
oh, man. Is Blood Rage on your list? Tell me Blood Rage is on your list!
Blood Rage is not on my list.
Oh, damn it.
The Blu-ray is really nice, though, from Arrow, if you want to,
Yeah, it's coming out this week on... no, I'm just kidding.
It did take 6 months to come out.
Anyway.
But, yeah, so that's... I think, Brad, you said something like kind of the same thing that I did, right?
Yeah, like you said, we're doing our top 10 horror movies, but we're really doing our top 10 Halloween movies. And when I was going through, like, looking up all the different movies that are, like, horror-related or Halloween-themed, I just kind of narrowed it down to it being my playlist, like, the stuff that inspires me and gets me in the mood to feel the Halloween spirit. So, yeah, like there's a lot of good, great, horrific movies out there, but those don't inspire me to think Halloween. Like they're good, but there's other things that, like, it could be takes you back to a different place in your life and stuff like that triggers that Halloween
Right.
feel. So
Yeah.
it
Puts you in
was
that
tough
mood.
going through. Like I saw the people's like top 100 lists. And, some of them include stuff like Alien on there, which I think is more sci-fi, but it does have horrific elements, so
Right.
it qualifies to be on there. But
I've watched Halloween, or I've watched Alien at Halloween parties in the past.
yeah.
But that's because I was there and was arguing profusely against watching whatever other garbage they were talking about showing.
The Shining.
Yeah, probably. I was with you. I don't know if you remember, there was a Halloween where we watched like the Rob Zombie remake of Halloween, and then we watched Alien and then something else. But anyway, yeah.
See, for me, it was a combination of what I thought was a good horror film, but also what I generally would watch on an endless loop. So, kind of just goes in both circles, like both camps, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, obviously some movies are going to be repeats of mine I've talked about before.
Right.
Just because of who I am and what I like. But
Yeah.
yeah, and I was telling earlier I was going to cheat and just put the Friday the 13th series. Because, I mean, around this time I always want to watch them. And last night, before I went to work, I left it on AMC and they had Friday 2 on there. I'm like, man, these aren't as good when they're freaking edited.
Yeah.
Because...
But then you have to put 9 on your list.
Yeah, 9
You hate
and 5.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Those are 2 good spots for 2 other great movies.
Exactly.
Well, we've pontificated enough. Do we want to just jump in and start seeing what's on these lists?
No, don't bring big words into this fucking podcast.
Okay.
Should we start with a scary song?
I think we got to do a seance or something. Like, that would be more of the spirit.
No!
Yes.
No! I think that dragged me to hell. They did that. There was a goat and it talked.
I
You're
saw
gonna
Ouija
die!
board, so I'm just inspired to play this Ouija board I have sitting out here.
Nice.
And it'll tell us where they rank.
Oh no. We're going to get sucked into some kind of Ouija portal?
I don't know. It's spelling blood right now. Is that a problem?
Yes!
Oh, I just have this sweet book that we can read.
Was that
You know there is no reading allowed.
Is it bound by
Necronomicon
flesh?
on there?
I mean, come on, guys. Let me just recite this. Klaatu, Verata,
Say the whole thing right, man.
necktie, nectar.
We're cursed.
It's definitely an N-word.
Oh man, I love the day the earth stood still.
It's definitely an N-word.
Klaatu, Verata. Now, for quiet, Brad can play a cool song because I just did that.
Did Raimi come up with Klaatu? Because that's like the
No,
alien
no.
from The Day the Earth Stood Still.
Yeah,
No, it
no,
is.
it's
Yeah, it's
exactly
stolen
okay.
from-
Yes,
yeah, he stole
it's
that.
on purpose. Yeah,
Because it's a funny movie.
that's right.
But, cool.
I don't know who's starting. Brad, you start.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. My number 1 or 10.
Whoa,
Sorry.
Brad's
Wow,
really
I can
do
changing
this
it up.
backwards.
Fuck it up.
Yeah. My number 1 is Ghost, where Patrick Swayze is a ghost.
Absolutely terrifying.
Roll trailer. Just kidding. It's Ernest Scared Stupid.
From Touchstone Pictures, monstrous trolls have sprung to life.
I sure hope you're from Cleveland.
And now Ernest P. Worrell is springing into action. He'll try anything
I know Tai Chi Kung Fu, chow mein.
and everything
Your shoes untied.
to save the day.
It's showtime.
It's Ernest P. Worrell in a brand new movie, Ernest Scared Stupid.
How about a bumper sandwich, booger lips? Know what I mean?
Starts Friday, October 11th at a theater near you.
I mean, I think it is. I haven't seen it in a long time. I'm sure it's pretty stupid, but
Yeah, that's a great pick.
I love
but-
the opening song or the opening music.
I think that the main troll in it's pretty scary.
Yeah, it scared the shit out of me when I was a kid. Like
Oh,
my,
it's not?
my family watched it all the time, and they thought it was really funny, and I never liked watching that one.
I
But
haven't
yeah,
seen an Ernest movie in forever.
yeah.
I wish I got a chance to watch it before we did this, but I didn't. So I just remember it from my childhood
I
being
think it's
like a ton
fair.
of fun,
Yes.
and it's got that Halloween vibe that I like. So
Absolutely, yeah.
Ernest
That-
Scared Stupid. I'll watch it tonight.
yeah, that's one you should totally like watch with your kids and see if they like it. But
Yeah.
but maybe not too young, and maybe not if they're like me and they're really sensitive.
I remember like watching Jail a lot
Yes.
when I was a kid, and
That
then
one's-
watching it as an adult and being like, oh my
I think Camp is the best one, right?
god, Camp in Jail.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, really? I would say the Camp and Scared Stupid are the best.
Well,
Because I remember Scared
Stupid might be the best, but again, I haven't seen it in a while. So.
Kiss my rubber lips. He says that to the troll.
I will say that I think Scared Stupid is the most popular.
Oh, okay.
Is the one
I
where
remember it being kind of a big hit.
yeah. I remember watching it as a kid all the time.
Yeah.
And
well, it was always on TV. That's a movie that at least had a season where every Halloween they would show it on like the Nickelodeon channel or whatever.
I remember that all the time. I used to go to I'd go to my grandfather's house and he'd have cable. We did too, but we were poor, so we never had like the Nickelodeon, the Disney channels, when they used to be premiums.
Oh yeah, no, I had those.
And so I used to watch it all the time. Disney or Nickelodeon, I forget which one, but whatever. Fuck you, James. My family was torn apart by divorce.
Yeah, my parents love each other.
Yeah. And now I'm reminiscing about my grandfather who also died, so fuck you, James.
Now I genuinely feel like an asshole.
Yeah, you should.
Oh, man. Awesome. Okay.
Fucking wipe that corn nugget off your asshole. That's how irritating you are right now. I don't know either.
That's weird.
Oh.
Candy corn, right? You said candy corn.
Candy corn, yeah.
This is a Halloween show, guys. Keep it
That's
rolling.
a great pick, though. Right?
Carol, I just want to point out that your son's picking on me because my parents got divorced and my grandfather died.
I never said that.
At the same time?
No, I mean, it's like 20 years apart, but still. The wound is fresh.
Axe wound. Halloween show. Zach.
Oh, okay.
My number 10, offend one and you offend them all. It's Freaks.
We didn't lie to you, folks. We told you we had living, breathing monstrosities. You laughed at them, shuddered at them, and yet, but for the accident of birth, you might be even as they are. They did not ask to be brought into the world, but into the world they came. Their code is a law unto themselves. Offend one, and you offend them all. And now, folks, if you'll just step this way, you are about to witness the most amazing, the most astounding living monstrosity of all time. Friends, she was once a beautiful woman. A royal prince shot himself for love of her. She was known as the peacock of the air.
Sie ist aber prachtvoll, nicht wahr, Hans? She's the most beautiful big woman I have ever seen. Why, Hans, how you talk. I should be jealous pretty soon. Don't be silly. Don't be silly. I've seen these women making ice at my Hans. Of course, I ain't jealous. Oh, Frida, my dear. I have ice for only one woman. The woman I asked to be my wife.
I don't know what that movie is.
That reminds me, I saw a dwarf before I came here. Not that they're freaks, but...
All right.
And this review is over.
All right.
Damn, I meant to say that before the show started.
It's Todd Browning's follow-up to Dracula from the 1930s, and it stars an actual sideshow cast, including the Hilton twins, who I've discussed before on a documentary called Bound by Flesh. It's only 60 minutes. It's a quick watch. It's incredibly dark for a movie of that era. Especially when you consider the fact that one of the characters is castrated and the other one is transformed into a horrible duck creature at the end of it.
Duck creature?
Yeah, duck creature.
I am in.
But the acting, it's sideshow performers. They're not really actors. They're known for being circus performers. So it's not really great acting, but the story is very interesting. It's based on a short story called Spurs, and if you've read the short story Spurs, it's even darker than this film, and this film goes into some pretty dark territories. So So yeah, that's my number 10, Freaks.
It's quacktastic.
Because they're ducks.
And this review's over again.
Gotcha. Understood. Cool.
So it was Tusk before there was Tusk.
Kind of, yeah.
It was Tusk, only it didn't outstay its welcome. Cool. Is it me?
Mm-hmm. Sure.
All right. It's my number 10. Hold on. Okay. Yeah, my number 10 is a movie we reviewed on this here show. It is a film from 2011 called Fright Night.
Hey, Mom.
Hey, just checking in. What you up to?
Adam Johnson. Adam?
You know Adam's missing, right? Right, kids aren't coming to school. It happens all the time. I don't know if you were paying attention to roll call, but he's not the only one that's gone. You're nuts.
This is my son, Charlie, and his girlfriend.
Hi. So Jerry is our new neighbor.
Hey. Now listen to me. We graphed up all the disappearances. That's you right there in the center next to his house. I really hate to be the one to tell you this, but that guy, your neighbor... Jerry. Yeah, he's a vampire. That is a terrible vampire name. Jerry?
Watching me. I've been watching you. Your mom, there's a kind of neglect, gives off a scent. And your girl, she's ripe. It's on you to look out for them, because there are a lot of bad people out there, Charlie.
What's that?
I'm gonna end him or he's gonna end me. That's how it's gonna be.
Charlie's gonna find me.
I'm counting on it. You smell that? It's your fear.
Did I kill him?
Hopefully.
Yeah, I just had to get this on here because this is the only like fun horror movie that I probably watch at least once a year since it came out, which is so weird because that's not usually my jam. But I just think this is a really fun, exciting movie, and Colin Farrell is awesome. Yeah, I'm sure that like every purist horror film is like, oh come on, like that's the fucking shitty remake and whatever. You know, that movie is fantastic.
Actually, I think it's one of the remakes that people enjoy.
Yeah,
I don't think it's before it came out. Obviously, people were upset.
Yeah,
going, you can't remake a movie that's 30 years old. Who fucking cares?
Right.
And then they saw it, and it's written by Marty Noxon, of course, from Buffy the Vampire Slayer fame.
Yeah,
and it's funny, and it's violent. You know,
yeah.
it's
well,
fun.
It's like it's not like super dependent on gore.
It's not at all.
But the suspense is so great. Like when he sneaks into the house and he's trying to sneak around, and Colin Farrell keeps and like Colin Farrell knows he's there and is deliberately doing things to screw with him. Like that whole sequence is so cool, and just like the whole premise of. Basically, it's Rear Window, but with a vampire, right? Like it's, hey, I'm pretty sure my next door neighbor is a vampire, and I got to figure out like how to deal with this. Is great. I think Imogen Poots' character is really fun, and like her, having some agency and fighting him off as often as she does, and then like the whole, ending there is just it's really wonderful. I enjoy that movie quite a bit. So yeah, great. People should go watch Fright Night.
They should. Man, you guys are burning through your stuff.
I didn't see Fright Night, so I have nothing
Oh, you
to
didn't?
contribute.
Oh, it's great. Yeah.
Either one, actually. So.
Oh.
I've only seen it once, so I
guess there's
don't
3.
remember it that well.
I think the first Fright Night is streaming on Amazon.
For free?
Yeah. Prime. It was. I recently saw it. I don't remember where.
Okay.
But the Blu-ray was a limited edition one that sold out, so I've stupidly. What do I know?
Cool. Well, Ryan, you're number 10.
My number 10 is, like I said, this is more like a Halloween party playlist. And when I watch this movie, all I can think about is My Friend to the End. And my number 10 is Child's Play.
Everyone has a birthday they'll always remember.
Can we open my presents now, Mommy? A good guy! I knew it! Hi, I'm Chucky.
He's something, isn't he?
This is Andy's.
Time for bed, Andy. Good night, baby.
Good night, Aunt Maggie. Good night, Chucky.
Everyone knows most accidents happen at home.
How did that happen?
This is no accident.
Andy!
I'm Detective Mike Norris, homicide.
Andy!
Miss Peterson's dead, Miss Barkley. She fell from your kitchen window.
Someone's moved in with the Barkley family. And so has terror.
Mommy, I know who was on the counter.
Andy!
Who, Andy?
Chucky.
Nobody believes you about Chucky. It came alive in my hand.
Oh, for God's sake.
Why won't you believe?
Because I'm sane, Mrs. Barkley. Sane and rational.
No one believes the truth. Or lives to tell it. There's nothing nice about murder. And there's nothing innocent about child's play.
The fucking one with the talking doll?
Yeah.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
Don't you mean Annabelle?
No. Annabelle, directed by the guy who directed Mortal Kombat Annihilation. No.
Really? Oh, I didn't realize.
Yeah,
Wow.
and you know what the biggest problem with Annabelle is? The direction. Anyways, Child's Play is obviously as a
first
classic
Chucky
Halloween.
movie, yeah.
So it's the first Chucky. The story's kind of goofy. It's the serial killer is being chased by cops, and he's chased into a toy factory of the good guys' toys, and he is into voodoo, so he places his soul inside of a doll, and then the doll comes to life, and as Chucky, Charles Lee Ray is the name of the serial killer. So Charles Lee Ray gets into Chucky, and he realizes that he can put his soul into a little boy, and he'll have a body again. The story's really goofy, but what makes the movie fun is the effects are really cool, like the animatronic little Chucky, and the Chucky's really funny. He says things like, "Oh, look, honey, there's one of those good guy dolls. Oh, he doesn't look very nice." And then the guys get out of the elevator, and he's like, "Fuck you." And, there's a really funny part where, because it's kind of like a dark comedy horror thing, and the mom is trying to convince people that the doll is alive. And so she's like beating him up, and she's like, say something. She's beating him up. He's like, "I'll fucking kill you, you fucking bitch." And like, it's funny. And
correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't they play it off for the first like 20 or so minutes in the movie that it wasn't the doll? Like,
well, yeah, they're playing off that Andy's doing it, the little boy in it.
That's what I love about that first film, is that you don't know whether it could be the doll or not. Like,
well, no, I mean, you know.
Zach didn't know.
I was young when I saw it.
And they also have so when Chucky does his fights and stuff, they have, a midget dressed up as Chucky.
I'm fascinated that I've gone my whole life and not realized that was. I always just assumed it was an evil doll. Like, I did not realize
No,
that
it's
the soul of a serial killer
Yeah, it's
escapes
goofy.
and voodoos himself. The whole time you were talking, I was just flabbergasted.
Yeah, that's the plot line for the first 3 movies is him trying to put his soul into Andy, so he can not be in a doll anymore.
So does Jennifer Tilly eventually get murdered and then voodooed into a doll?
Yeah, that's the 4th part.
Okay, and
which
then
is
they
the
have
Bride of
sex and
Chucky.
they have a kid who's
That's
turns
Seed
into...
of Chucky, which is awful.
Okay.
But if you want to see the newest one, I think came out in 2013 called Curse of Chucky.
Yeah.
It's really good.
Rat poison.
It plays kind of like a haunted house movie.
Okay.
It's actually surprisingly really good.
Interesting.
That went straight to DVD.
Cool. All right.
But yeah.
Learn something new every day.
Yep. So cursing, murderous dolls are really funny.
Cool.
Brad?
My number 9 is Field of Dreams, because Kevin Costner does baseball against ghosts.
Joke doesn't get old, people. The joke does not get old.
Just kidding, it's Evil Dead 2. Sorry, Ryan.
Four years ago, in this quiet forest, in this cozy cabin, something happened. Something so frightening. Something so deadly. Something so evil. We prayed it would never happen again. Now, from the creator of Evil Dead comes Evil Dead 2. Evil Dead 2, Dead by Dawn.
Is Evil Dead 2 on my list? I don't know.
Cool.
Yeah, I felt I had to have an Ash movie on the list, and like my favorite is Army of Darkness, but it's more of a way more comedic.
Yeah.
And like Evil Dead 2 is the better version of Evil Dead, so if I had to pick of the 3 for Halloween, I
Right.
chose Evil Dead 2. So, which is great. It has gore and it has some humor to it and a genuine spook factor to it. So.
Yeah, it's super over the top, and what's great about the film is you have to have a performer like Bruce Campbell who's willing to put himself through that physical comedy and sell his... I still think one of the greatest scenes in horror movies ever is when his hand is possessed and he's fighting it and smashing plates over his head and dragging himself across the floor, and then he chops it off and has lines like "Who's laughing now?" And the movie's great. It's an awesome movie.
Dead by Dawn, Dead by Dawn.
Yeah, I still think there is parts that are pretty scary in it when he is that Dead by Dawn part where all the animal heads are like turning at him and laughing at him, then his girlfriend's head falls in his lap is great.
Yeah.
And it has trademark Raimi stuff in it where the humor not necessarily is written to be funny, but it's so over the top and it's performed a certain way that it makes it really funny. And that developed who Sam Raimi is. I think Evil Dead was unintentionally funny.
Yeah.
And then I think with Evil Dead 2, he really kind of honed in his skills as a filmmaker and the tone that he puts in almost every single one of his movies. So yeah, it's a great movie.
Awesome. Good choice.
My number 9 is a debut film from a director who's been maligned very viciously by us over the past 2 weeks. My number 9 is House of a Thousand Corpses.
Howdy, folks. You like blood, violence, freaks of nature?
On a stormy Halloween night, 4 young people set out across the back roads of America.
What's that? It's a hitchhiker.
What, should we stop?
We can't leave her right here in the rain.
In search of a mysterious figure known only as
Dr. Satan.
You know anything about the legend of Dr. Satan?
Yeah, I can show you.
Dr. Satan! Ah, Dr. Satan!
What they uncovered
You ain't seen nothing yet.
is the most horrifying and shocking tale of carnage ever seen.
Well, I bet you'd stick your head in the fire if I told you could see hell.
You seen this girl?
Yeah, they want to play Nancy Drew with this local legend that people call Dr. Satan.
Stupid kids probably got themselves lost.
Let's get out of this nut house.
The boogeyman is real. And you found him. It's showtime!
Please don't kill us.
From director Rob Zombie comes a journey into hell.
This can't be real, this can't be real, this can't be real.
House of 1,000 Corpses.
Hope you like what you see!
Dr. Satan! Dr. Satan! What? Dr. Satan! Maybe he lives next door to you. Yeah, it's Rob Zombie's first film. And it's about a bunch of kids who drive around to look at offbeat roadside attractions, and then they wind up at this house in the middle of a rainstorm, and it's filled with murderous maniacs, played by Bill Moseley, Sherry Moon Zombie, Karen Black, and oh gosh, who's the guy who plays Tiny? He was in Big Fish as well. Matthew McGrory. Matthew McGrory.
Oh.
Matthew McGrory. Who passed away after Devil's Rejects was shot. I like the tone of the film and the campiness of it, and Bill Moseley does a really good Charles Manson impression throughout the entire film. And I also kind of dig the aesthetic style that Rob chose to shoot it almost like a pseudo music video near the end, because at some point it turns into like a bunch of like beaming colored lights just flashing down on the victims and the killers, and some of the stuff doesn't make sense in that movie. I've realized over the years, like I don't know who, like it's Earl, the guy with the mask.
Mm-hmm.
I really don't know what he's there for and what he has to do with the whole Dr. Satan lore. I guess he's like his bodyguard or something like that.
Yeah, I haven't seen it in so long I couldn't tell you.
Yeah, so, but solid performances all around. And Sid Haig, I'm a Sid Haig guy. Dating back to his work with Jack Hill with Spider Baby Yeah 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 and Coffee and Foxy Brown. So it's always fun to see him in a movie. So yeah, that's my number 9.
Yeah, no, Sid Haig is good in that movie. Yeah. And I don't have to put up with as much Sherry Moon Zombie, so it's pretty
I was
good.
just going to ask, does Sherry Moon Zombie survive?
I actually think she dies in that, doesn't she?
No, they die at the end of Devil's Rejects.
Oh, that's right. She goes down as a hero after she raped and murdered somebody.
Chinese, Japanese, dirty knees. Look at these.
Oh, man, these Kit Kats are melted.
Are they still melted?
Oh, yeah. There we go. This one's a good one. All right.
They melted, so I freezed them.
Oh,
but
I
apparently
gotcha.
not enough.
Well, no, it wasn't.
Starburst don't freeze.
It was sorry. It was not squishy melted. It was some kind of freak, if you will. It was a freak Kit Kat. You know, some kind of duck boy of a Kit Kat. Anyway, are we on my number 9? Okay. My number 9.
Usurping my choice at number 10.
Somehow, yeah.
Duck boy really opened up your imagination, didn't it?
It did, yeah. So my number 9. There's 2 quick caveats on this. One is that this movie has a pretty special place in my heart and probably a relationship to our show. And the other thing is that this is also the most dramatic that any of the films on my list will get. My number 9 is The Battery.
They can take our bones and bury them deep under the river, but we'll still be together, and we cannot be defeated. They can take our trombones and pack them down there with us, but no matter how long it takes us, we will not be defeated. When we dance together under the moon and under the weather. We will lock our eyes forever and a night.
I want to sleep in a house, in a bed, like a real human.
You need to wake up and realize this is how it is out here now. Nobody's gonna flip the switch back on. Get off!
We got to see the world premiere of this movie, which is part of why, like, it always has a special place in my heart. But also, I genuinely, like, when I think on all of the movies that can fall into a horror movie category, that I genuinely love, this is certainly up there. I mean, when we first saw this, and you get to slight spoilers for this movie, though you should go rent it on Amazon. You know, when we get to that third act and our characters get trapped in this one location, like something that has been like a pretty cool little indie drama / horror movie, like turns into a genuinely thrilling set piece, and it's just such a for a micro budget film is a really enjoyable little horror movie with as you'll see from pretty much everything on my list, with really great characters that I care about. I think it's one of the few zombie movies on my list as well. But yeah, no, people should go check out The Battery for sure.
No, it's definitely one of the movies that I saw that took me by surprise.
Yeah.
And sometimes when we interview people, I'm like, oh no, your movie's good, and it isn't at all. And
that's a good thing to admit on the air.
Hey, if you think it might be you, it probably is.
All right, fuck you guys, I'm going home.
Yeah, that's right, Twombly.
Yeah, I'm playing more fucking Twombly. But no, it's one of those movies because you never know.
Also Michael Uslan and The Dark Knight. I mean, really, come on, buddy.
Yeah. It's one of those movies that it surprised me.
Yeah.
How well it was made. How well. Because when you hear it's $10,000 movie and it's a zombie movie, you're like, great.
Oh, good.
But then they purposely made it where you're not focusing on the zombies. It's more about Mickey and.
Yeah, I mean, if it weren't for the third act, I wouldn't have put it on the list because. It would have just not been a horror movie, It would have been a movie with zombies in it that's really a drama about two guys just trying to survive, right? Mm-hmm. But the third act is really the part where, the horror of the world that they're living in comes into your reality. And I just thought it was such an inventive structure of a film. I love that thing. So,
yeah.
Cool. Brian, you're number 9.
My number 9 is also about a small murderous person. He's not an elf. He's not a dwarf, guys. He's a leprechaun.
The luck of the Irish is being packed and shipped to a little town in South Dakota whose luck may have just run out.
Hello? I need the police. This is an emergency.
You can kill anything. What the hell are you? You just gotta know how to do it.
Leprechaun.
It's out. It's out of the crate.
And now he's in the hood. No.
No. This is the first Leprechaun. I used to rent this all the time with my friend Brandon at Blockbuster. I still watch it to this day. I still think it's a really funny movie. It's not a great movie, but what it takes is a committed performance from Warwick Davis to sell the film, and he plays this murderous leprechaun crazy, and he goes all in. And I mean, Warwick Davis is already a great actor, so you're elevating a script that is, I mean, garbage, and for him to not only embrace it, but to go on and be in 6 or 5 other ones. And there's a great, if you get the Blu-ray of the complete Leprechaun collection, he actually does commentary on all of them. And he talks about, in the first one, that no one was hiring him, that no one would give him the opportunity to be an actor. And so they came to him with Leprechaun, and he said, you know what, if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it right. I'm a classically trained actor. I'm not going to, obviously he's going to make it campy and up it, but in the right hands, much like I think Bruce Campbell is Ash, if in the right hands, it's going to be, you're going to sell it the right way. And he's really great in it. It's Jennifer Aniston's first movie.
I was just going to say, is this actually on your list because it's got Jennifer Aniston
Well, that
in it?
too. But no, he's really funny. There's a part where he's driving like a Hot Wheels, Big Wheels on the street, and a cop pulls him over, and he says, aren't you a little young to be driving? And he said, young? I'm over 400 years old. And, smart ass. And then it's just stupid and funny. You should really watch it. It's goofy.
That's cool.
Yep. So Leprechaun is my number 9 movie.
I never would have expected that. Cool. Brad?
My number 8 is A Christmas Carol, because Ebenezer Scrooge is visited by 3 ghosts.
Nice.
Just kidding.
I really hope you have 10 of these.
It's Repo the Genetic Opera.
By the middle of the 21st century, organ failure had become a worldwide epidemic. But GeneCo was there to satisfy the demand for organ replacements.
Enjoy GeneCo's day and nighttime formula.
The problem is, if you miss a payment, GeneCo sends out the repo man. And when he finds you, your time is up.
Collect on the Handelman account at once. This payment is past due.
Everybody, oh yeah. Stand up. People, woo! Everybody.
Look what I've become. It's me she must escape. I'm only living out a lie. I'm the monster. I'm the villain. What perfection? What precision? Unscathed organs deliver me
This movie's fucking weird.
It is, but it's got like a haunted house production
Yeah.
design to it. And it was really cool because the way I got introduced to it was I was just going to the Mayan one day to watch one movie, and I got there and there's this line around the block, and I asked someone like, "What are you guys standing around for?" And they were waiting for Repo the Genetic Opera, and I think Darren Lynn Bousman was there. No, the original playwright
Terrence Zudnik.
Terrence Zudnik was there. So I was like, "Can I switch my ticket to this thing?" And it was fun, and I heard him talk about the movie and stuff, and I thought the music in the movie's good, and it was a good time. Enjoyed it. It's gory and has a little bit of humor. It's a little campy and over the top, but it's fun.
You know you want it, Baby Gene Co's got it.
Yeah.
One of my favorite songs from that soundtrack.
Cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. Zach, you're number 8.
Your mother sucks cocks than hell, James.
Dude.
My number
That's
7.
harsh.
I don't think that was called for.
His mom listens to this show.
She's like our one fan.
My number 8 is The Exorcist.
Somewhere between science and superstition, there is another world. The world of darkness. Nobody expected it.
Let's see what
Nobody believed it. And nothing could stop it.
There are no experts. You probably know as much about possession as most priests. Look, your daughter doesn't say she's a demon. She says she's the devil himself.
I'm telling you that thing upstairs isn't my daughter. Now, I want you to tell me that you know for a fact that there's nothing wrong with my daughter except in her mind. You tell me you know for a fact that an exorcism wouldn't do any good. You tell me that!
The one hope. The only hope. The Exorcist.
I'm sorry, Carol.
Oh, because that line's from that movie.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought you were just antagonizing her.
Yeah.
No. I mean, it's The Exorcist. What else do you have to say about what hasn't been said about that film before? I'm surprised that it still scares the shit out of me every time I watch it.
Does it?
Yeah, it does.
Okay.
Not making that up.
Does it not scare you, James?
Yeah, I seen it once. I mean, and I get scared by E.T., so if it doesn't scare me like that, you know. But
then you're a pussy.
Right. But I also, like, I look back on it, when I saw it, I could appreciate it from, like, a film history moment, right?
The technical level on that film is
yeah,
amazing.
Yeah. So there's stuff in there that I can imagine was just insanely terrifying to anyone who saw that at the time, you know. But that's cool. That's a good one. Anybody else love The Exorcist?
No, I saw it twice when they re-released it in theaters, like in early 2000.
Yeah.
And I was like,
either edition.
Not sure what the big deal is.
Either edition is fine.
It's creepy, but
yeah. I
wasn't like, oh my god, I can't. It scares me to my core. Not really.
Cool.
Wimp.
No, I think The Exorcist is actually a really great movie. I think it suffers a lot, kind of like how The Shining suffers, where
its reputation
precedes the actual film.
Yeah, because I will say I like the story. Like the story of the priest, I enjoy. It's the scary bits that I'm like, well, all right, I don't know that I care that much.
I actually find like the Catholicism elements of it are what's terrifying.
Yep, that's pretty much what.
Like I don't know if you've ever been to like the East Coast and gone to like really Catholic stuff out there.
Yeah,
but it gets a bit intimidating.
Personal savior.
Yeah. Fuck being saved.
Whoa. Yeah.
Cool. Is that an upside down cross I see on your wall?
Oh, the nail came out of it. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, because I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
What up, Jesus? Come and get me, bro.
Cool. All right. Is it my number 8? Yes? Yeah. My number 8 is one that I went back and forth on whether or not I should include this, because sure, it is ridiculously irreverent, but it's also, I think, a really fun movie that people should watch come the Halloween time. My number 8 is Shaun of the Dead.
Do you ever think that modern life is not for you? Do you do the same dead-end job every day? Is your love life dying on its feet?
To a wonderful mom.
Oh. Have you ever felt that you're turning into a zombie? Maybe you're not alone.
Piss it. Although no one official is prepared to comment, religious groups are calling it Judgment Day.
It is vital that you stay in your homes. Avoid all physical contact with the assailants.
So, what's the plan? Bash him in the head. That seems to work out. Why have we got to go Lizzie? Because I love her. All right, gay. Do something! Wait there. Hold it there. I'm coming!
Here they come!
It's hard not to love this movie.
I often forget about it as being like a Halloween-ish qualifying movie because it's so fun.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a really well done like zombie movie comedy. I think the reason why I still put it here, because I eliminated most of the stuff that's a comedy off my list, is because it is still, it is still a commentary on the genre. Like it, as with all of the Cornetto trilogy films, like they are commentary and deconstruction on, while also being an entry into their particular genre. And I can say that like it's a movie that when my mom watched it and that guy got torn apart at the end, she was like, I didn't need that, and I was like, okay, great, so then it must be a horror movie. So yeah, I think it's really wonderful, and honestly educated me probably a lot at the time on like a bunch of horror movie references that I didn't understand. And then, of course, as time went on, I found out why They're Coming to Get You, Barbara is really funny. So yeah, I think it's really fantastic. So
I think it's not on my list, not because it doesn't deserve to be on there,
right?
Because it's one of my most favorite movies ever,
right?
There's just so many gems I can pick on it. To me, what makes Edgar Wright such a great filmmaker and Simon Pegg such a fun actor. Mm-hmm. Most people will think whatever about this scene, but there's a part after they're in the guy's backyard and they're just across from the Winchester, and Sean says, "I'll have a look," and the camera never moves from like where he was originally going up the slide steps.
Yeah,
he goes up there and it stays on his feet, and he comes back down, and he has this look on his face. And they say, "What's wrong?" They're out there. There's a lot of them. Yeah. And then the camera pans up in a crane shot, and there's thousands of zombies out there.
Yeah.
And again, it's like a throwaway scene, but to me, that symbolizes the movie,
right?
Because I just think it's so great how well that scene plays.
Yeah. It ends up coming off at times like that. It comes off less like comes off more like, here's what normal people might really be like in this situation, where if this stuff that is such a part of pop culture became true, like this might be how normal people actually react to it, which is part of why I think it's so much fun. So,
yeah, and who doesn't love, the interplay between Nick Frost and Simon Pegg?
Oh, it's great. Yeah.
Just I don't know. I just love it.
Yep.
That's all I can say about that film.
So, throwaway line when he's walking back to the shop, and he's this zombie comes up to him and just goes, He's like, "I don't even have any change today, man."
Yeah. Well, what makes that so clever is it's the same shot.
Yeah. Right.
Now you're seeing the destruction of,
humanity,
and that's what makes them great filmmakers too.
And it's actually a commentary on sort of the whole idea of those George Romero zombie movies where all the people are still doing the things right. Like in those movies, it was about how these people turn into zombies and then end up going and doing a lot of the same things they were doing before.
Yeah,
that same joke is playing there. So if you know that about horror films, it has an extra layer to it. But the joke is also funny if you don't.
Yeah.
The movie is great. So cool.
That was an original pressing.
Ryan, you're number 8.
This is kind of a newer. Well, I guess not really that new now.
It's been like 3 weeks. So
yeah, it came out 3 weeks ago. It's called.
It's called The Accountant.
Yeah. No, I do like horror anthology films. I think they can. The biggest problem usually with anthology movies is there's like 2 or 3 that are really great, and then you have 2 that are like, the rest drag. But this film, they're actually all really good. They're all tied up really nicely, and they all have to do with a little dude who has like a pumpkin head.
Oh yeah.
My number 8 is Trick or Treat.
During the spookiest time of the year, there are a few guidelines all ghosts and goblins should follow. Always stay on sidewalks. Never go to a stranger's house. And never go out alone.
This is the one night that all sorts of things roam free. Sorry. All these traditions. Wait.
What?
You're supposed to keep it lit.
Why?
Ancient tradition? Putting on costumes.
I look like I'm 5. You look great. What did we do now? We meet our dates.
Jack-o'-lanterns.
Why are we here? To pay our respects to the dead? The Halloween school bus massacre.
They started to protect us, but...
What in God's name are you doing down there? Hiding buddies?
Nowadays, no one really cares.
This one's still lit.
What is that?
It's them.
Oh my God.
Look at me. It's not a trick. It's real.
Tonight, it's about respecting the customs, not breaking them.
This is a favorite of me and my wife's to watch on Halloween. Literally Halloween Day. It's just because it's a clever little dark comedy. I mean, it has pretty much everything: vampires, werewolves.
Do you watch it during the day because it spooks you out too much?
Yes.
You gotta watch it when the lights are on?
No, I watch it at night because I have a little 2-year-old boy. I'm never
Oh, shoot. Okay, now I know where I thought you were going to say, like, I watch it at night because my little 2-year-old boy needs to see it.
No, because I don't want him to see it.
Oh, gotcha. Right.
But no, the movie's fun, and I think the little boy Sam is kind of become a horror icon.
Yeah.
And a film that was never put into theaters and kind of just thrown away has become like a really big cult movie.
Right.
And it deserves to be because it's really well done. All the actors in it are really great. And, yeah, it's fun. I mean...
How many stories are in it?
Oh, man, 5? 4 or 5. Because they all kind of tie together. You know, Dylan Baker's in it. He plays a teacher that poisons the candy for kids. Puts, razor blades and stuff in them, and he's a murderer. You know, And then it has a ghost story about the kids who were in a school bus, the mentally challenged kids that the driver didn't like him, so drove it into the lake. There's just lots of little creepy things in it, and really well done.
Cool.
Yep.
One of these times, you're gonna have something on your list that I've seen, so I can talk about it.
Well, you can borrow stuff. Everything I've said, I've had.
Yeah. Okay, so my number 7. We're on 7, right?
Yeah.
No, my number 7 is The Wizard of Oz, because it has a bunch of witches and bat-winged monkeys in it. Just kidding. It's Freddy vs. Jason.
Warn your friends. Warn everyone.
Welcome to my nightmare.
We're not safe awake or asleep.
Why won't you die? Freddy versus Jason.
Place your bets.
Like all great
Place your bets.
like all great Mike Myers jokes, the more you beat this horse to death, the funnier it gets. Anyway, yeah, Freddy vs. Jason.
Yeah. I thought you were talking about Freddy vs. Jason for a second.
Well, that too. No, yeah.
The movie's awesome.
No, I love Freddy vs. Jason.
Yeah, it's so much fun, and watching the Never Sleep Again documentary yesterday just reinvigorated my passion for it. They pointed out some things that I never really considered. And if you watch all the films, they show how the studio wanted to go with it for years, and then they relinquished to just let's just focus on being true to the characters, and that's what they do in the movie. And I think it's really brilliant that they use because there are always these other plots that they're going to use of the heroes have to collect 5 artifacts to stop Freddy or something.
Yeah.
When it's really cool that Freddy inhabits Jason's dreams in order to get out. I forget what the actual way to do that was going to be, but
well, he was using Jason's mother to make him
right.
come back to life and kill the kids on Elm Street, and because Freddy is now an afterthought. So the only way Freddy gets strong is by people telling him he's strong and afraid of him. So he uses Jason, knowing if he kills people on Elm Street, they will blame Freddy for it. And the whole throwdown is because Freddy gets pissed because Jason's killing everybody.
Yeah, he's getting all the credit. Yeah,
Which is pretty smart when you think about it.
Yeah, smart way to pit those two against each other, and then the end is, even though Freddy knows kung fu for some reason, because it's a very I think it's a Hong Kong action director. So
running you.
Yeah,
but I think the set pieces are great.
Oh no, the final battle between the two, where it takes place in the dream world and then takes place in the real world. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's just awesome. I mean, I remember being in the theater seeing it, and people were cheering when Jason grabbed Freddy and dragged him through the wall, and then threw him 50 feet in the air.
And then Freddy hits those compressed air canisters, blows Jason across into and then the whole cabin blows up like a action movie end explosion thing. It's just
Because that's the thing is, I'm sure they mentioned in the documentary, if you're gonna make the movie, just go for fucking broke, because you can't make the fight between them, and I think that's I've read a lot of the original scripts. You can't make the fight between them pussy. Just make it over the top. Make them chopping each other up. And there's a really funny line in the making of it, I think on the actual DVD of Freddy vs. Jason, where Ronnie Yu just says, "More blood! More blood!" That's all he wanted, was when they're fighting and chopping each other up, blood spurting everywhere. And he likened it to a WWF match. He said, "I'm just going to make it so over the top and so crazy." Yeah.
Wes Craven's on the documentary saying, yeah, I didn't really dig it because it didn't speak to any element of the human condition. I'm I don't go to see Freddy vs. Jason to analyze the human condition. I want to see them fight. Even if I don't care who wins, like, I came to see, like, how are these people going to utilize each of their powers against each other? Like, what kind of cleverness is going to be in there?
Exactly.
And,
You know, because there's a lot of taking the script for what it is, you know, because there's a lot of weird exposition. And I understand they have to do it, and I don't know how they drive from Crystal Lake to Springfield all the time. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter, because what matters is those two fighting. And it's really cool, because the original ending is god-awful, and I remember they screened it, and people hated it. And so Robert Shea, who kind of is the head of New Line, or used to be, said, hey, I have an idea. How about Jason pops out of the water holding Freddy's head? And then Freddy winks at the camera, and then nobody really knows who wins. And everybody's happy, and I think the ending is badass.
Well, Ronnie he did the popping out of the water because he's a fan of Apocalypse Now, so he wanted to, like, recreate that shot.
So it's fun.
Yeah.
I freaking love that movie. I really do.
Yeah, tons of fun.
Cool.
My number 7 is a film from 1933 that I don't think it's enough credit. My number 7 is The Invisible Man.
Bandages right up to the top of his head, all round his ears.
Flora's worried about Griffin.
I had a terrible feeling last night. I felt he was in desperate trouble.
He meddled in things men should leave alone.
Not the slightest clue. That's where the clues are. He wasn't leaving anything to chance.
There must be a way back. God knows there's a way back.
What are you doing, Hal?
If only they'd leave me alone.
It's the stranger with the goggles. He's gone mad.
You're crazy to know who I am, aren't you? All right, I'll show you. The mania madness of your peering through the keyholes and gaping through the curtains. And now you'll suffer for it. But why? Why do it, Griffin? Just a scientific experiment at first, to do something no other man in the world had done. Suddenly I realized the power I held, the power to rule, to make the world grovel at my feet.
You know who the Invisible Man is, Doctor. Where is Dr. Griffin?
What's the good of concealing it?
Oh, come and stay with us. Let's fight this thing out together.
Police, quickly. The Invisible Man is in my house. He's mad. He's killed a man tonight.
Believe me, as surely as the moon will set and the sun will rise, I shall kill you tomorrow night.
The secret of invisibility lies there in my books. Don't you see what it means? Power. Power to walk into the gold vaults of the nations, into the secrets of kings, into the Holy of Holies. Power to make multitudes run squealing in terror at the touch of my little invisible finger. Even the moon's frightened of me. The whole world's frightened to death.
I'll lay traps that even an invisible man can't pass.
Radio stations now. Watch the wall.
Help! Help! He's here! He's here!
Here we go, gathering nuts and may on a cold and frosty morning. Whoops!
That's one of my favorite Universal monsters.
Starring Claude Rains.
Probably the most homicidal of them all. How many people has he killed in that movie? Over 100.
Roughly 100, yeah. Like, and it's
one
all
by
with...
one, or
he 1 a minute. It just starts
1 a minute in a 70-minute movie.
There's a counter in the corner.
No, it starts with him going into this inn that during like a snowy night,
and he just wants to be left alone.
Yeah, but he causes a whole train derailment and killing all the people on the train.
So that's technically why he's got a high body count. I don't know. It's not comparable with Jason, but he does a lot more damage in one movie than most people do.
No. But, I mean, Claude Rains is amazing in that movie. I mean, absolutely amazing.
At one point, I think what sells it for me in that film is when he has a basket in his hand and he goes, "Here we go, gathering nuts and berries, nuts and berries, nuts and berries."
Because the whole premise is the longer he stays invisible, the more mad he becomes.
Yeah. And the more driven towards world domination. Like, essentially, like, nobody will see him come, nobody will see him go. He can He can hear every secret. He can rob and rape and pillage and plunder, and then he just throws shit at a window. But that performance is powerful. And then also the way he kills Kent is just diabolical.
I think he's scary. Like, I really do.
Yeah, it's one of the reasons why I think that it's. I don't know why it doesn't get the same credit it does that the other monster movies do.
I don't know either, because the special effects are pretty amazing
for the time, especially.
I think they still hold up really well.
Oh yeah.
And how they did it is they just had him wear like a black velvet something over his head.
Yeah, and then they shot three different times for the special effect. So yeah, that's my number 7, The Invisible Man.
I mean, The Invisible Man special effects work better in that movie than they did in League of
Man?
Extraordinary Gentlemen.
Oh, okay, that one too. Yeah,
or Hollow Man.
Cool. My number 7, right? We're on 7. Okay. My number 7 is a very recent film.
It's 7.
No, that is on my list of things that I thought about putting on here, and then was like, nah, I'm not going to go there. My number 7 is a very recent film that sort of got its hooks in me and that I couldn't stop thinking about. My number 7 is It Follows.
I used to daydream about being old enough to go on dates. I had this image of myself holding hands with a really cute guy, driving along some pretty road. It's never about going anywhere, really. It's having some sort of freedom, I guess.
Jay, you awake?
What are you doing?
You're not gonna believe me, and I need you to remember what I'm saying. This thing, it's gonna follow you. Somebody gave it to me, and I passed it to you. Wherever you are, it's somewhere walking straight for you. All you can do is pass it along to someone else.
I'm scared. I need to find him.
What did he really do to you?
Apparently he used a fake name to rent a house in the city.
This isn't real, I swear to you, this is just some game.
If it kills her, it gets me and goes straight down the line whoever started it.
What exactly is supposed to be following you?
I don't know.
Something happened. It's not what she thinks, okay?
You don't believe me. Mom?
No, it's me. Everything's okay.
It could look like someone you know, or it could be a stranger in a crowd. Whatever helps it get close to you.
Yeah, so I've talked about this movie a lot. It's one of those from the last couple of years where, for some reason, like, it's a horror movie, but I liked it. I think my only actual problems with the movie are the times when it like tries to be kind of a horror movie. So when it turns into scary things, those are the times where I'm like, oh, come on. Like, the truth is, it is scarier when it's just an old guy in a field walking at you, and you're like, ew, old people are creepy. Kidding.
And the old dude hanging out on the roof of the house with his dong hanging out.
Yeah, right. Yeah, like, oh, it's so weird. But like the whole premise of that movie, and sort of the commentary that's going on there, I think is really fantastic, and is one that I was really moved by. Like, the way that I interpret the end of that film, as this very accepting, like, you know, for me, it's a horror movie that ends with, like, why are you even afraid of the monster? Like, yes, it's coming for you, but so is just, like, death. So let's move on. I think it's actually a really kind of hopeful little ending to a really, at times, terrifying movie. And the acting, I think the performances in that movie are great. So, yeah, I highly recommend it.
No, It Follows is one of the best horror films to come out in a long time. I think it's so interesting that It walks so slow.
Yeah.
And I think that adds to the creepiness because no matter what you do, it's still going to walk after you.
Right, exactly, yeah.
You know, because I had that conversation too. Well, what if you fly to like England or something? How long would it take for it to get there?
It's going to take a while.
I mean, it's still going to come get you.
And the problem is, the further it is from you, the more you don't know when it's going to get there, right?
Exactly.
Like, the better chance it has of creeping up on you, because you're going to get comfortable. Whereas if it's always right behind you, you always know where it is. Man. It's such a good, it's a premise that you keep thinking about for a long time. And I think the opening sequence of that movie is really horrific.
I think so, too.
Not just, so the opening sequence is, but then also the first act, I should say, of her basically being, hunted by this guy who manipulates her long enough that she will have sex with him so that he can be safe. It's a really terrible idea. It's pretty great.
Yeah, they even have that where they're in the movie theater, and he says that one lady or dude, I forget, over there, and she says, "I don't see it," and then he realizes, it's
so good.
It's pretty great.
Yeah.
So yeah, I know I do love that movie.
Cool. Number 7.
My number 7 is one of my favorite films in this genre. I watch it all the time. Scream Factory just put out an amazing Blu-ray on it. And, I mean, basically you just have to ask, do you want to party? And that's Return of the Living Dead.
In the dark of the night, something strange is going on.
You see that movie, Night of the Living Dead? Sure. They ship those bodies. Well, say hello.
The dead have risen from the grave.
Mister, there's 100 of those things out there.
How many did you say?
100?
And now the question is, how do we get them back into the ground?
Bert, Frank, we have a little problem.
4 left. 10 right.
That goddamn skeleton is all over everything! Stupid asshole! Watch your tongue, boy, if you like this job! Like this job!
Brain. Medical science is baffled.
Well, it's a puzzle. Because technically, you're not alive.
Why do you eat people?
Not people. Brains.
How do you kill something that's already dead?
Well, how do I know, Fred? I don't know. Let me think. It's not a bad question, Bert.
In that movie, they destroyed the brain to kill him. Is that what they did?
The brains, right.
Brains!
Brain! The brain! I hit the brain! Oh! Get it off! 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 Get it off!
The military is nervous.
How was your day?
Usual crap.
The police are confused.
Send more cops.
It worked in the movie! Well, it ain't working now. Ain't the movie live?
It's not a bad question, Bert. It's not a bad question, Bert. It's not a bad question, Bert.
The return of the living dead.
Everything about this movie I just adore. It's goofy, over the top, directed by Dan O'Bannon, and written by him, who wrote Alien. And he's a really weird dude in all his interviews. But for some reason, he struck this right tone of punk rockers with zombies that want brains. They have stupid things like there's a medical supply place that they work at. It's called UNITA, and it's just goofy.
But at the same time, the makeup and animatronics of the whatever that guy is called. What's he called?
Tarman?
Tarman, yeah. The makeup and special effects for Tarman are so cool.
Yeah.
Like, I don't actually find him to be that creepy in the movie, but like...
But he's
it's a really amazing
I'd say
sequence.
he's one of the most iconic zombies ever, though.
Oh, yeah.
Just because of his design. And what's really ironic about that film is they hired somebody else originally to do the makeup effects. And they were so awful that he got fired pretty well in production. Like, he already did some of the zombies.
Yeah.
And they brought in the guy who did the one zombie lady who's cut in half, laying on the table, who's... telling them why they eat brains.
Oh, okay.
Was made by some 19-year-old kid. And so he kind of made his name for that by doing that. And so if you get the wonderful documentary called More Brains, The Story of Return of the Living Dead, they talk about how this guy was all the way and they had to fire him about 3 or 4 weeks into production.
Wow.
And I think that there's only 7 weeks of production on the film.
Yeah.
So... that the movie came out as well as it did is pretty amazing.
Yeah.
And again, there's some things that don't make any sense, like how are the zombies able to claw out of the ground? How are zombies without any muscle on them talking? I don't know. It's dorky, but it's still a really fun movie. And it's it's one of my favorites to watch. Yeah. And pick up the Scream Factory Blu-ray because you won't be disappointed.
Yeah, it's a really fun film.
Oh, don't worry, guys. That's the one dude who walks up and down the street singing rap songs.
Oh, okay. I thought he was just going, whoa, whoa. Like, I thought he was trying to creep people out. So, is he any good? I can't hear him through the headphones.
Oh, no, that's a different guy.
Oh, what?
We have 2 dudes on our street now. There's this other guy who watches who's like, motherfucking shit, motherfucker. And you're like, what the hell? I thought he had Tourette's for the longest time, but then I found out he was listening to
music. He's just a big fan of Tupac,
yeah.
That's hilarious.
So, yeah, Return of the Living Dead.
Cool.
I think it's shown up on my top 10 lists a lot on these Filmsplosions.
Yes, it has. Cool. Brad?
We're on 6?
Yes.
My number 6 is Batman Begins because it has a bat, a scarecrow, and Al Ghul.
Al Ghul.
Just kidding. It's an anime called Pet Shop of Horrors.
Hello, Count. This is Mr. Wong. So what the hell is this? I paid for a tiger.
You're not satisfied with the merchandise?
I made a complete fool of myself in front of everyone last night. I tell them they're going to see a tiger, and what do they see? A stupid painting.
So, you've just confessed you broke the contract we had.
Hey, listen, fag. There is no contract because there is no tiger. Huh? What the hell? What is this? Some kind of joke?
Joke? It's not a joke. It's what I promised you. It is the last remaining tiger of its kind.
Oh no! No! No!
As you breach the terms of our contract to not show it to anyone under any circumstances, we cannot assume any responsibility for the consequences, I'm afraid.
Wait a minute, Count. You have to help me. Listen to me, please.
In the heart of the city, you will find Chinatown, a mysterious place where rare and valuable commodities are in abundance. Welcome to my pet shop. Tonight, you will find something you desire.
I've never heard of this.
Yeah, I don't think many people would. I've never seen it on shelves since I got it in the 90s. And it's like an anthology horror thing where there's this pet shop and customers come in and they get a little bit like Gremlins. And then the customers take the animals home, but they're like allegories for problems in their lives.
You said it's an anime?
An anime, yeah. And then the customers take...
I just watched Ryan stop listening.
Yeah. It's okay. I'm just going to turn this way for the rest of the discussion.
If it's going to start in Ninja and end in Scroll, I've never seen it.
and then the animals eventually like transform and either like kill them or like get the customers involved in something that does kill them.
Sure.
So it's like teaching all these like lessons, and I haven't seen it in a while, so I don't remember what specific things did happen, but I just remember it's got a really creepy vibe.
Cool.
I think there's like 3 stories in it, or maybe 2. But it's definitely a good Halloween vibe for me. So that's number 6 for.
But if you want to
Brad.
see it, you have to go over to Brad's house because apparently it doesn't exist.
Yeah, and maybe eBay.
Yeah.
If you want to get the disc.
Do you own like 10 copies? You're gonna go sell them each for $200 a piece.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. It might be on a streaming. It is released.
I bet it's on like a Crunchyroll.
What?
Crunch. Wow, you all looked at me like I was crazy. Crunchyroll is a streaming service specific for anime.
I think you're talking about an actual
They are-
sushi dish.
They are not a sponsor of this show, but can be if they just call us.
It's like when Pizza Hut gave out DVDs.
It was released by Urban Vision. They did a lot of like those occult anime titles.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know what they transformed into now, because like I know a lot of those titles got consolidated, like
Sure.
manga and what was the other one? Never mind.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Cool.
Pet Shop of Horrors. Zach.
Little shop of horror.
All right, my number 6.
Yes.
6? Yes.
Is
My
Little Shop
number
of Horrors.
6. Who will survive the night and what will be left of them? My number 6 is the Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
What happened was true. The most bizarre and brutal series of crimes in America.
Sally, I hear something. Stop! Stop!
This is the movie that is just as real, just as close, just as terrifying as being there. Even if one of them survives, what will be left? The Texas Chainsaw Massacre. After you stop screaming, you'll start talking about it.
3D, right?
No.
Texas Chainsaw 3D?
Fuck you.
I see that one. That was pretty good.
Is that really the tagline on the poster?
Yep.
Oh.
Who will survive the night and what will be left of them?
I think one of the greatest introductions to a villain ever.
Yep. When it just...
When he clubs the dude with a sledgehammer. And then, I mean...
He shuts that... I think it's the
shuts the
shutting of
steel
the
door.
door.
Oh, yeah.
So, if anybody out there has been living under a rock for the past, 40 to 45 years?
I think 40 years now.
Yeah. It's the story of these kids who go into... who are on their way to a... They're not on their way to a concert in this one.
I think they are.
Yeah. Well, they pick up a hitchhiker. The hitchhiker is crazy. They kick the hitchhiker out of the car, and they wind up in this house that seems abandoned, but it's actually inhabited by cannibals, including one named Leatherface, who wears human skin masks. It's still unrelenting. It's unrelenting. Raw footage that just feels like it's a documentary.
What I think is really interesting about it too is there's actually not that much blood in it.
Oh no,
It's
There's
one of those
barely
films.
anything in there.
When you watch it, you think you've seen more than you've actually seen.
Especially when the kid in the wheelchair gets it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like for the longest time, I thought that was the bloodiest scene, and then I realized it might be when the girl gets the meat hook.
Yeah, but at the same time, your mind is playing tricks on you, and that's a tribute to the film and how well it's made. Is you're pretty sure you saw something, and then you watch it again, you're like, wait a minute, wasn't there like blood and guts happening here? But you don't really see them. I mean, the idea of being hung on a meat hook while you're alive.
Yeah. and the way they shoot it, you're just like, oh wow, like it's cringeworthy. And then the dinner scene, I always thought the dinner scene was the scariest part of the film. When they're trying to get Grandpa to hold the hammer, it's so...
Yeah.
It's kind of funny at the same time, because the grandfather's just like a living skeleton, can barely hold a hammer in his head.
Yeah, and it's one of those
things.
things.
Keeps dropping it.
The way they play it is he dead and everyone's helping him, or is he like barely alive?
He's
and
barely alive. Is my theory.
Yeah, me too. And it's just weird.
Yeah. Well, at first I thought he was dead, but then I was just like, no, I saw stuff move, so he's barely alive. But so yeah, and it's Tobe Hooper's first film. He went on to do some great stuff in the horror genre, like Poltergeist and Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2 and Life Force and Invaders from Mars, which you could argue is bad, but I actually enjoyed that film.
It was fun.
So yeah, that was my number 6, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Cool. My number 6 is it's a zombie movie.
Nice.
My number 6 is 28 Days Later. Fuck you, Ryan.
So who are you?
Wake up today in hospital. I wake up and I'm hallucinating. I've got some bad news. They're infected.
Infected!
Father.
Infected with what?
Oh, I shouldn't have done that.
The blood. There's something in the blood.
Lesson 1. You never go anywhere alone unless you've got no choice. Hello? Lesson 2. Only travel during daylight unless you've got no choice.
See, this is a really shit idea. You know why? This is obviously a shit idea.
We have to leave now. More will be coming. They always do.
They're dead. And you're gonna be next.
And by zombie movie, he means a plague movie.
I'm just going to sit back and eat chocolate while you two battle it out.
Can I join you, Brad? I'm really in the mood for
Yes,
chocolate.
excellent. I'll take the Kit Kat.
I'll take a Starburst.
I remember the first time I saw this movie and like being concerned that it was going to be more of a horror movie than it is, but thoroughly enjoying it. I think it's a really great movie. Subscribes to the old, the old zombie movie trope of the most dangerous thing actually being the people. But I think they do a really great job of it. So yeah, I don't know what else to say about 28 Days Later that hasn't been
just
said in
for
the
our
past,
listeners out there, a zombie is a fictional undead being created through the reanimation of a human corpse, which doesn't happen in 28 Days Later.
Sure.
Still a great movie, though. Hello! Hello!
Yeah. Though you hate that last sequence, don't you? Or because there's like a dream sequence in there that you don't like.
The part I don't like is when they're camping out and he's they all fall asleep next to the campfire.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
That's the scene I don't like. I think the ending's actually pretty great.
Yeah.
Where they're inside the mansion and stuff.
Yes.
Because I do think Danny Boyle's a really great filmmaker.
Yeah. Well, and I think it's such a cool sequence where he starts using the zombies against them and, releasing it on them. And, it's just...
And people forget, it came at a time when the zombie movie genre was like, meh, when's the last zombie movie?
No one gave a shit.
And so even though it's not a zombie film, it did push the genre back into the limelight, and now it's, everywhere.
Right. Yeah, and I will also say that I thoroughly enjoy the sequel as well. I think 28 Weeks Later.
I think 28 Weeks
really
Later
great.
is better.
Yeah, I don't know that I would say it's better, but it's a more thrilling like horror film,
Mm-hmm.
Whereas I think I just like the character bits in Days more because the creepiness of seeing Cillian Murphy like alone on the empty streets of London is a lightning in a bottle thing you can't do a second time.
Yeah, I mean,
you know?
and it's so iconic that The Walking Dead stole it.
Right. Oh yeah.
You know, it's the same thing. As you go in a coma, you wake up, and you don't know how long you've been out. You don't know how long the zombie apocalypse has been going on.
Right.
Or in this case, the plague has, decimated London.
Yeah.
And I think it's a great reveal too that when he's running and he's laying down and he looks up and he sees a plane fly over.
Yes.
Like,
yeah.
They're totally quarantined.
Right. Like the fact that it's just England is a brilliant reveal in that movie. Yeah. Absolutely adore it. Really great.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it in a while. I should watch it again.
Yeah, me too. Yeah. So cool. Ryan, your number 6?
My number 6 actually I think has another one of the greatest openings to horror films ever. It's directed by a horror icon, and originally it was titled Scary Movie. And when Wes Craven got it, he said, "I like the name Scream more." And so my number 6 is Scream.
Hello?
Hello.
Who is this?
Tell me your name, I'll tell you mine.
I don't think so.
What's that noise?
Popcorn.
You making popcorn?
Well, I'm getting ready to watch a video.
Really? What?
Oh, just some scary movie.
You like scary movies?
Uh-huh.
You never told me your name.
Why do you want to know my name?
I want to know who I'm looking at.
Someone is playing a deadly game.
It all began with a scream over 911.
Someone who's seen one too many scary movies. Now, he's taken his love of fear
Hello?
Hello, Sydney.
one step too far.
Do you like scary movies?
What's the point? They're all the same. Some stupid killer stalking some big-breasted girl who can't act, who's always running up the stairs when she should be going out the front door. It's insulting.
There are certain rules that one must abide by in order to successfully survive a scary movie. Number 1, you can never have sex. Never, ever, ever, under any circumstances, say, "I'll be right back," because you won't be back. Get another beer. You want one? Yeah, sure. I'll be right back.
He didn't make the rules.
Police are always on track if they watch prom night at same time.
He just kills by them. Don't answer the phone. Don't open the door. Don't try to hide.
Everybody's a suspect.
Not scared, are you? Scream.
I think the opening to Scream is one of the best openings ever, period, on film.
Because you don't like Drew Barrymore?
Yeah, pretty much. So when I could see her hung from a tree and eviscerated, that's the winning combination. No, I think because when you think about it, it's now that it's so iconic that there's parodies based on the opening scene of that film.
Oh, yeah.
And when you watch it again, you realize that you had Kevin Williamson, who at the time he'd never written a movie before, and he had such an idea of taking the tropes and everything we know about horror films,
Yeah.
and using it to the viewer's advantage, and the teenagers who thought they were too smart for it.
Right.
And I think, and being a huge horror fan, when he says who's the villain in Friday the 13th, and she says Jason, and he says wrong. Jason's mom Pamela was a villain in Friday the 13th. That's an argument horror movie nerds like me are like, he's right. And
is that how they all sound?
Yeah. They actually sound like this. But once you get past that scene too, the whole film then it still has to carry that momentum, and it does. And it came at a time when winking at the audience wasn't known in horror films,
right?
And you needed someone, I think, with the credibility of Wes Craven to pull it off. And so it's a slasher film where it's smarter than your most traditional slasher films.
Yeah. And
I think it's fun. And I mean, I can count how many times I've always said, "Wait, there's more!" And where Matthew Lillard is way over the top and he's like spitting everywhere. It's fun. And then I still think too the reveal of spoilers for a movie that's 22 years old, where there's two killers, I mean, that's pretty inventive at the time, where, you know, that's how they're always everywhere, and, you know, there's one guy here, and there's another one there. Yeah, it's a fun movie.
Cool. Brett?
We're on 5?
Yeah.
Here's 5. My number 5 is Pirates of the Caribbean, Curse of the Black Pearl, because it has...
Undead Pirates!
Undead Pirates.
Yeah!
No, actually, it's a foreign horror anthology animation thing called Fears of the Dark.
When you are afraid, it is difficult to breathe. It is difficult to move. It is difficult to speak. But it is easy to panic. From 6 of the leading graphic artists of our time comes a film that reinvents the meaning of terror. Of the dark. Prepare for a journey into the unknown.
I remember you talking about this, but I don't remember a fucking thing about it.
Yeah, I don't remember
'cause he doesn't listen when
individual
you talk.
bits, but I remember like they were all really creepy, and they all have different animation styles throughout. And
Is it is it a bunch of different? Is it like an ABCs of Death, or is it like a Wreck?
it's not 26 stories,
or
but
VHS or
it's I think it's like 6 or something.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, they're all the stories are just bizarre and eerie and perverse, and they each have their own animation style, which is good. So
cool.
It came out like I think 2008 or 2009. So if you can find it, check it out. I recommend it.
Cool.
For I am Brad, and I recommend things.
Yes. My opinion holds sway.
My number 5 was Scream.
Nice.
So
Too
that's
funny.
our first repeat. It's I don't think it's my favorite Wes Craven movie, but it's one of the best ones he ever made. I love Matthew Lillard in that film. Can't get enough of his performance. I can even tolerate Skeet Ulrich.
Whatever happened to him? Is he dead?
I think he's just in the background of things.
Don't ever,
Ryan. He's right behind you.
Don't ever say you'll be right back, because you won't be right back.
Hey, I'm gonna get another beer. Do you want one?
Yeah, I'll take one.
I'll be right back.
Oh! I think that's even in the trailer.
I love the idea that he's like just in movies and he's standing in the background like waving like, "Hi guys."
He's like, "Where's Waldo of movies?"
Yes. Exactly. That's fantastic.
I love in Scream 2 where Luke Wilson plays Skeet Ulrich. Or is it Scream 3? I think it's Scream 2. And he plays him like Skeet Ulrich, like a doofus, but in that Luke Wilson kind of way. Like he's in a Wes Anderson movie, but he's in Scream. I love it.
That's cool.
So yeah, that was my number 5, Scream.
Awesome. Yeah, so moving right along. My number 5 is a film from 2001 that I was really excited to put on this list because I really like this movie. And then on the way here, when I was talking to Zach, I realized how much shit I'm going to catch for this one. My number 5 is Frailty.
You the agent in charge of the case?
That's right. What can I do for you, man?
I'm here because I can't live with what I know anymore. And listen, this may sound a little bit crazy, but I know who the goddamn killer is.
What makes you think that?
You hadn't even heard me out yet, and already you doubt me.
They were raised to obey their father,
Go do some homework.
to love him, to trust him
Night, boys. Sleep tight.
Don't let those bed bugs bite.
until
Wake up. I've got something to tell you.
What's wrong?
There are demons among us. I can see the demons, while other people can't.
I'm scared, Dad.
Nothing that crazy could be real.
The angel told me that God would be sending weapons.
Maybe you just dreamed it. Maybe you're not right in the head.
God will be sending a list of the first 7 demons.
These are people's names.
And they'll look like people. They're not.
Dad made up this whole thing. Do you understand?
Well, if it has to be done, it has to be done.
Is that true?
Why would I make it up?
It's all a big lie. I don't want to run away.
You are hiding something from me.
What is it you think I'm hiding?
When I lay my hands on them, I'll reveal them for what they truly are.
I got a pretty good idea what them bodies are.
I'll tell.
Craziest thing I've heard in a long time.
Check the rose garden.
I don't believe a word of it.
But it's true.
Bill Paxton,
Those were demons. Why can't you see that?
Matthew McConaughey,
Tell me the truth.
Sometimes truth defies reason.
You're crazy.
Only demons should fear me. You're not a demon, are you?
I haven't seen it, so good luck.
Frailty stars Matthew McConaughey.
Awesome.
All right.
He's really good at it.
He's really good. He's really good.
Lawyered.
It's actually really, like, Matthew McConaughey is only in sort of the bookends of it, because it's really a story about Bill Paxton, who plays this father who is going insane and believes that he can see the demons in people, and so he's teaching his sons to basically, see the demons in people and murder them to, kill the demon that's in them. And it is this really uncomfortable and like paranoid sort of thriller, where you have this main character who thinks that they're doing something good, right? Like, it's not like a traditional like serial killer slasher movie where they're just crazy and they kill people. Like, I mean, yes, they are, but here's this person who thinks they're doing the right thing, is actually really conflicted with it. Like, Bill Paxton I think it was the first movie that Bill Paxton directed. He has these amazing scenes where you can tell that he really doesn't like having to do it. Like, there are these scenes where he's like praying and wishing that God would take his special sight away from him because he doesn't like having this responsibility of killing these demons. But he also then like feels ashamed because he's like, well, no, like, I was given this gift for a reason. Like, it's a really twisted movie. But I think it's pretty fascinating and definitely very uncomfortable. And Matthew McConaughey is great. He's so good. But yeah, wasn't even thinking about it when I put it on the list. And then on the drive in, I was like, oh shit, I put a McConaughey movie on this list.
Of course you did.
Wouldn't it be a James list without it?
McConaughey is so in James's brain that he doesn't even realize that he's picking the...
He's just driving a Lincoln car around the little nerves
Yeah,
in his
right.
brain.
I mean, I can't talk because my number 5 film is Gothica. I'm just kidding.
Oh, wow. That's great. But no, really, it's Shortcuts. No. Ryan, what is your number 5?
My number 5, I know I'm starting to get into the classics. I mean, there's some movies that I watch every year because I have to, and that I love them. And my number 5 is Wes Craven again. It's A Nightmare on Elm Street.
The kids of Elm Street don't know it yet, but something is coming to get them.
There's something out there, isn't there?
You just see cuts happen.
What did that, Lieutenant? I don't know.
Tina!
The coroner got to say.
He's in the jar and puking since he saw it. They're gonna kill me for sure.
Did you do it?
There was somebody else there.
He was locked in a room with a girl who went in alive and came out in a rubber bag.
No one knows where it came from or who it will visit next.
Nancy? There's something wrong with you. You're imagining things.
Nightmare on Elm Street.
Do you believe in the boogeyman?
No.
whatever you do, don't fall asleep.
No!
She's the only one who can stop it. If she fails,
I'm your boyfriend now, Nancy.
no one will survive. From Wes Craven, director of The Hills Have Eyes and Last House on the Left, a new masterpiece in fantasy terror, Nightmare on Elm Street.
The movie that introduced the world to Freddy Krueger. And in that movie, he's called Fred Krueger. I don't think he's ever called Freddy in it.
Oh.
Zach, can you refresh my memory? I don't think he's called Freddy in it.
That's correct. Yeah.
I think he's only called Fred in it.
Yeah, they didn't call him Freddy until Freddy's Revenge.
Yep. So maybe the kids called him Freddy, but I'm pretty sure for
Oh no, in the lullaby. Or the jump rope.
Yeah,
Freddy's
coming
for you.
But yeah, everywhere else he's referred to as Fred Krueger.
Yeah.
It's such an iconic movie, and it works on so many levels because, being tormented in your sleep and not being able to do anything about it, I think is a fear that everybody has. Not being able to wake up. What if I die before I wake up? And
what if there's an ET at the end of my bed?
Yeah, exactly. What if and personifying that thing that's not going to let you live through your dreams, I think is a great idea, and I think the character design is awesome. At the time, you don't realize how iconic he is because, obviously, I didn't see the movie until after it's, I don't know, the fourth or fifth Freddy came out.
Yeah,
because was 84, so I was 3. So maybe the fifth one is the first one I saw just straight, but at the time
it was already part of the pop culture.
But you already know who Freddy is. You already knows what he looks like.
So much so that they made a doll, a Freddy doll.
Exactly.
It's kind of weird, don't you think?
Well, yeah, no, that's where I think the Nightmare on Elm Street series, where it did go wrong, where something like Friday the 13th never really betrayed who the character of Jason was. I think that later Elm Streets betrayed who Freddy was until you got to number 7, but the first 3 movies I thought were pretty solid, and I think the first one still is a great horror film. And
my favorite part of that film is it's another throwaway thing when he goes, "Hey Tina, watch this," and he just slices off his fingers and it's gushing out with green goo. It's just stupid. I love his Craven's sense of humor is funny to me.
To me, I think the most iconic moment in that is he has this part where it's just Robert Englund being Freddy, and he just puts his glove up to his face, and he kind of turns his head a certain way, and I think that just symbolizes who Freddy is. I'd have to watch it again, but there's a couple moments in it where it definitely sells. And it's creative to have. Maybe the most iconic shot that everyone knows is his glove coming in between her legs when she's taking a bath. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I think the movie's great.
It's weird because you're talking about the later ones and how they got more comedic, more of a sense of humor, and people forget that this is a
child killer.
Yeah, it's a child molester and child killer. Mm-hmm. That's his origin is based on, and then it's weird that by 6 or 7, he's this pop culture icon. It's
it lends credence to that new Nightmare shot that you were talking about.
Oh yeah, it's my favorite shot in the whole series.
Where he's like, "You're all my children now."
Yeah, it's my favorite shot in the whole series. But yeah, and I think even in that documentary, Robert Englund talks about how he would shoot one version of Freddy being evil and not being funny, and then they'd shoot one version of him being funny, and the studio says, "Oh, we like him more when he's funny." Playing with a Nintendo Power Glove or something like that.
I'm playing with power. Great graphics.
So even when they got bad, though, I think Nightmare on Elm Street still had some pretty interesting kills. But I think the first one is a classic, and I still think it's pretty scary. So
cool. Yeah. Brad, your number 4.
My number 4 is E.T. the Extraterrestrial, because it takes place on Halloween. Just kidding. It's Shaun of the Dead, and we already talked about it.
I thought for sure you were gonna say because it scares the shit out of James.
I thought you were going to say that, like interrupt me. So I was trying to leave an opening.
I really don't have it in me to shoot my mom and my girlfriend today. Wait a minute, who says I'm taking you back? You don't want to go through the zombie apocalypse single, do you?
Yeah,
I got these flowers. They're for your mom, aren't they? Ooh, yeah. Yeah, no, like you said before, really fun movie. Also is like a good entry into the genre itself. Great zombie effects, really clever. So
yeah,
Shaun of the Dead, my number 4.
Cool.
All
Zach?
right. Warning: the monster demands a mate. My number 4 is The Bride of Frankenstein.
Oh, sir, she's gone. The monster, he's got her.
This is what a lot of film snobs will consider to be one of the greatest horror films of all time. But I don't think they consider it because of its horrificness. I think they are charmed by its cleverness.
Yeah,
which I definitely am.
It's an amazing film.
It's an amazing film, and if you've been living in under a rock for 70 years, it's about
I think it's 80 years now.
80 years, yes. Oh gosh, yeah, because 75th anniversary was that nice leather book edition that it came out. Bride of Frankenstein takes place exactly where Frankenstein with Boris Karloff from 1931 left off, where he essentially falls back into the hands of his creator and Dr. Pretorius, who seek out to create to repeat the experiment. And along the way, there's interesting connotations of like flights of fancy. Like there's a lot of like dark humor and like twisted sense of humor kind of like jammed into the movie that really, really works. It's the same sense of humor that is in The Invisible Man because they're both directed by the same man, James Whale, who was, if you want a history lesson on James Whale, just go watch Gods and Monsters and you'll get an idea of the guy. Not the full picture, but an idea of the guy. But Bride of Frankenstein has my favorite line in a monster movie, which is go, you stay, we belong dead. And then he's crying and throws the switch and kills Dr. Pretorius and the creature's mate.
It's what I think why those films work so well, even Frankenstein, is because he's the monster in it is not really it's not his fault.
Yeah,
and he didn't ask to be made.
Yeah, and because even in it, the little girl that he kills in the first one, he's just playing with her. It's just a misunderstanding. He doesn't understand who he is. And my favorite line, actually, in Bride of Frankenstein is, I can't remember exactly, but he says, I'm dead, or something. I'm dead, only good dead. He's basically talking about his own mortality, where he's trying to explain it to the dude who takes him in the house.
Oh, the hermit?
Yeah, I forget the line, but it's one of my favorite lines. And
it is alone or it is bad to be alone. Alone, bad.
Yeah, something like that. Then he talks about how he's dead. it's heartbreaking because the Bride of Frankenstein, the bride actually only shows up the last 5 minutes of the film,
Played by the same person who plays Mary Shelley at the beginning of the movie.
Yep, and when she rejects him, it's heartbreaking because he has no place. This woman that's made out of the same thing he's made out of still sees him as a monster, and that's why he kills everybody. And it's sad, and I think that's why that movie transcends time and why it's considered one of the greatest horror films of all time.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what you can't get in movies like The Shining.
Right. Yeah.
And Karloff.
Oh yeah.
What can you say that hasn't already been said about Karloff? You know, which I love that they just credited him as Karloff.
Mm-hmm.
For the longest time, there was never Boris Karloff. It was just Karloff.
Like Prince.
Let me.
Yes.
let me hear you say.
The artist formerly known as Karloff.
Let me hear you call Boris Karloff a cocksucker.
Karloff? Sidekick? Fuck you! Karloff does not deserve to smell my shit! How dare that asshole bring up Karloff?
Oh, man.
I love that
Cool.
movie. I'm going to go watch Atwood again. Goodbye, guys.
Yeah, I mean, if I was doing my favorite horror films of all time, Bride of Frankenstein would be right up there.
Yeah. Cool.
And Frankenstein.
Yeah. Awesome. My number 4? Cool. My number 4... oh, right, yeah. Okay. My number 4 is a movie we reviewed here on the show that I think Ryan was probably pretty shocked that I loved as much as I did. And it's honestly the most horrific thing on my list. My number 4 is Evil Dead.
Please. Please. You have to get me out of here.
Leave this book alone.
You don't understand. There was something in the woods. And I think it's in here with us now.
I released something from that book. Something evil. This thing is attached to Mia's soul. We're gonna have to kill her.
You're all going to die tonight. We're gonna get you, not another beat. Time to go to sleep.
That's the remake of Evil Dead, not the Evil Dead.
Yeah, so remember, Sam Raimi is the Evil Dead.
Right. I was very careful how I said it.
Evil Dead is...
Yeah, I was actually watching this movie again today, and I probably haven't seen it in a year and a half or so. And it works so well still. Like, the things that I find so gruesome are, like, really put me on edge. It is a, like, horrible movie to look at. But at the same time, the reasons why I love it so much are still so present. Like, I think that, you know, it takes this classic trope of, like, kids going to the woods and then an evil thing, like, but in this case, in wrapping it in the paranoia that surrounds her trying to get sober, or kick heroin. I think that adds a level of believability to the film that a lot of times you don't get, right? So when she says crazy things and people don't believe her, you understand why. Watching it this time, I realized like how quickly everything goes downhill in that movie. Once she comes out with the shotgun into the main living room of the cabin, it's like 15 or 20 minutes of just people like getting turned and dying, and it's pretty terrible. And the tension during that whole section is really, really great. Also had forgotten about how amazing the opening sequence is, where you have this young woman who gets like attacked in the woods by some like hillbillies, and you think you're seeing something terrible happening, and I mean you are, but like and then she wakes up tied to a post in the basement, and there's this crazy witch lady there, and then like her super suburban dad comes out and lights her on fire, and it's this very in the context of the film that they made, it's this very like intervention kind of scene, really. And you realize that here's this character who doesn't realize what is so wrong with him. And I remember in the theater that first time when, you're really watching something and this is terrible, and she's pleading for her life, and then she looks at her dad and finally says whatever it is that she says. She calls him a cocksucker. She says, "I'm going to eat your soul." And all of a sudden you realize, like, oh yeah, no, she's terrible. She light her on fire. Holy crap. It's really great. I mean, it is a fantastic, fun movie. Fun in quotes, that I can't believe how much I enjoyed. I mean, that year was higher on my top 10 list that year than it was on yours, which was shocking to me.
Everything about that movie doesn't scream you at all.
No.
But what does is the characters, and
yes.
I think, what works for me in the film is you do get the characters, and it allows the characters to breathe and get built up.
Yeah.
And I'll never forget when I actually thought, because movies don't really scare me, but the part in the film that did make me feel uneasy, and I did oh, this is, kind of scary, is when after she's attacked in the woods. I know I've mentioned this many times, but she's sitting on the bottom of this bunk bed, and she's just curled up like a little ball. And Jane Levy, by the way, is amazing in this film.
Yes.
And she goes, her brother comes in, and he's like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "You don't understand. There's something out there. We have got to get out." And the way she delivers the line,
it's in here with us now.
Yeah, it's terrifying.
Oh yeah,
and
it is a complete tonal shift for the movie. Even though you've just watched her get raped by a tree, like the tonal shift is actually there.
Yeah, because
like that's where it becomes terrifying.
Even when she's sexually assaulted by plants, it's still in the realm of like, oh, this is still like the Sam Raimi kind of.
Yes, it's still kind of playful.
Yeah,
even though this is not Sam Raimi's Evil Dead.
No, and it's a movie that it literally rains blood.
Yes.
And I think that part at the end with her evil doppelganger is scary.
Yeah.
Chasing her through the rain of blood. Everything about that film is, if you're going to remake it, you can't outdo Sam Raimi.
Right.
So I think that Fede Alvarez did the right thing. Is you have to make a film that is yours, that plays to the Sam Raimi sensibilities.
Yeah.
So what they did, instead of making it funny and look at Ash fight his hand. No, I'm going to make it terrifying.
Right.
What happens if these people are, really being possessed by demons? I mean, you have people sawing her face off, and it's...
That sequence is actually one of the, or at least the sequence right after it is one of my least favorite. Not because it's bad, because it's terrifying. Is when the girl who is sawing her face off attacks the guy with the sedative, like the needle of sedative, because the way that's shot, and she just keeps like stabbing and stabbing, like because she's not. It's almost like she's not in control. It's like a fucking like wind up doll, where it does like karate chops. Like there's something so unnatural about the way she's moving, and it's like unstoppable.
Yeah, and that's why I think that movie is successful too, is because you get 20-30 minutes of character development.
Yeah.
And then you better fucking strap in, because the movie never stops.
Right.
It's that scene. It's her sawing her face off. It's her sawing her arm off with a turkey carver.
Oh man,
slicing her tongue with a razor blade. I mean, you don't get a break in this film at all.
I think the reason though that it ends up appealing to me is that surprisingly you get that turn where Mia sort of is set free again, and you end up so rooting for her to succeed, right? Like she becomes such a powerful character, and she's gone through so much in this movie, even though for most of for the middle section of the movie, for the second act of the movie, she is the villain. When she comes back, you're so rooting for her to succeed and to beat this thing. Like it's such an amazing release, and that only works because they built really great characters that you care for. You don't want bad things to happen to these people. You don't care as much about the long-haired guy who reads the book and causes all the problems. You don't care as much about the girlfriend who doesn't, But as far as Mia, her brother, and I think her name is Olivia, the no-face girl. Those three characters are set up really well, and you understand the dynamics between them really well, so that you don't want bad things to happen. And then everybody dies until Mia has to be tough and beat the crazy devil thingy that crawls out of the sand. Yeah, that movie is great. It's really great. So yeah, that's my number 4.
My number 4 is, I'm going to preface this by saying I'm sorry because I know it's going to be way higher in someone else's list.
Sure.
But I think it has, again, I think with horror films, a lot of times I think the opening moments of the film will tell a lot about what you're in store for.
No!
And this film has probably one of the greatest, if not the greatest, Steadicam shots of all time at the beginning.
Even I got this one.
My number 4 film is Halloween.
Halloween night. A small American town. 15 years ago.
Michael?
Halloween.
I spent 8 years trying to reach him, and then another 7 trying to keep him locked up because I realized that what was living behind that boy's eyes was purely and simply evil. I think he'll come back.
Exploring uncharted territory.
Totally charted.
Just talk.
Sure. The only reason she babysits is to have
Halloween.
Come on out.
Halloween. The night he came home.
I mean, if you're doing a Halloween movie list and you're a horror movie fan, I don't know how you don't watch this every year.
I don't know how you don't watch this every day.
Yeah, it's obviously it birthed the slasher craze. I mean, there's slashers before, whether it's Psycho or
sure,
another. I can't even think of another one right now off the top of my head, but
Black Christmas.
Black Christmas.
Almost everything else that's been on your list.
Yeah, but this came out in '79, shot for $150,000.
Wow.
But by John Carpenter, and that opening shot, like I said, it's a Steadicam shot that just you follow through the eyes of the killer, and to reveal that the killer is a 6-year-old boy is
like the biggest. What the fuck, man?
Yeah, because you've had, whether it's Norman Bates through point of view shots or whatever it is, it's the last thing you'd expect, and I think that's why the movie works so well. And then you get, Dr. Loomis and Donald Pleasant's character, where he's basically saying that this kid is nothing but evil. There's nothing about him that's good. There's nothing about this kid that's good.
The blackest eyes, the devil's eyes.
Yeah, it's a great movie, and again, it's not super gory. The film is built.
Maybe, like, the bloodiest might be the opening shot.
Oh yeah, the film is built on the suspense of what's happening. There's one of the coolest shots in the movie is Jamie Lee Curtis's Laurie's going up the stairs, and in this dark corner, you just see the outline of the Michael Myers mask go in and then kind of fade back out, so he's there. And just little things like that elevate a typical slasher film to something what that film is. And I'll go on record saying it's one of the best American films ever, because it's what it meant and what it is because it's not just I'm going to hack and slash people. It's the ambiance, it's the feel of the movie.
It's the thought that evil can manifest itself into the form of a human.
Exactly.
And be a force of nature. It's when he, gosh, I'll talk way more about it when we get to it on my list, but when it disappears at the end and all you hear is the breathing, for me that symbolizes why I love Michael Myers above all other slasher killers, because it's just pure evil. It's just a force that's filled with all the things that are negative, that just has decided upon this town. Because you have to discount all the stuff that happens after the first movie in order for this movie to feel as effective as it can feel.
Well, I think that with that film, it's so well made, so well crafted as a horror film, that I still think it stands so far above all the other ones that I don't even care about the other ones. I think 2's pretty good. I think 4 is a great movie, but 1 is
a classic.
Is a classic, and but from the score, from the opening title credits where it's just a jack-o'-lantern with sitting there with a candle in it, with the great piano work by John Carpenter. I think
5/4 beat, man. It's creepy as all hell. And also gave us the great hero, Dr. Sam Loomis, or hero, quote unquote, because he's kind of insane.
Yeah.
I think what impressed me about it when I saw it, and is that the way he uses those Steadicam shots, not in the beginning, but later on in the film, to make the street itself seem so small and normal, right? Like, it's the shots where he kills somebody in one house, and then the camera goes from the front porch of one house across the street into Jamie Lee Curtis's house, and so you just feel like it is a real street that feels like your street, that is this small town America. Like that's the thing about that movie that I thought, like, oh, this is really brilliant. Like, this is a place where this little piece of technology really allowed you to do something you couldn't do before.
And too, because it's a symbolism for you don't know what's going on across the street.
Right, exactly.
For you don't, even though you might feel like you're safe living here in Colorado, who knows, what's next door. And I think that adds to the mystique of who Michael Myers is.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's a consistency throughout John Carpenter's filmography, and it stems from Rio Bravo. As far back as Rio Bravo, the idea of like a siege, or a community under siege. In this case, it's under siege by a force of nature.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah, that's my Ryu leg sweep.
Cool. What was this?
If you see me in a Michael Myers mask, don't think it's just for fun.
What are we on? 3?
Yep. My
Cool.
number 3 is Kenneth Branagh's Hamlet, because Hamlet's dead dad talks to him. Just kidding. It's
You're really stretching.
I thought it was for the
great.
run length of Hamlet.
Oh, it'll kill you.
Aww.
No, I got 2 more. Don't worry. This isn't over.
Oh, that's great.
No, my real number 3 is another anime. It's Vampire Hunter D: Bloodlust.
Say your prayers and hope for pleasant dreams. When darkness falls and all is quiet and peaceful and you are most asleep, the undead awake. Late at night, the undead prowl and search for blood. No one is safe. There is no way out. There is only one hope. One man who rides alone. He is both good and evil, darkness and light. He is the vampire hunter. In a world of hidden dangers, in a time of great unrest, one imperfect man battles the darkness alone. A place of beauty, a time of evil, a lonely girl, a sweet seduction. Outside, outcast, he is her only hope. He has their power. He knows their secret. He seeks an answer. He must keep moving. He is the only hope for survival. Close your eyes and pray.
This is the weirdest list. I thought my list was going to be weird.
Yeah, so it's the sequel that came out like 2001. The animation, I think it was Madhouse, really good.
I think the character design is cool.
Character design is cool. It's got like that robotic horse and vampire. He's like part vampire, part human, and he's just out there
All
to kill.
badass.
All badass, out to kill all the vampires he can get his hands on. This one, some small town has been plagued by vampires. The vampire king, I think, has stolen the mayor's daughter or whatever, and so
Like
he
you do.
enlists. Yeah, so he enlists Vampire D to, pays him some money to go bring her back, and then eventually find out that she left on purpose because she wants to be with the vampire king, romantically, and then it turns out like all that was a play by the head vampire Carmilla, and it's a little like Fury Road, where D has to team up with like another team of vampire hunters who have like a war rig, and as they go along, they all get picked off one by one, and
I'm in.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Cool.
Yeah, it got a really creepy vibe, and it's a little bit like the original, but vastly improved by better animation and more complex storyline. So
cool.
Yep, that's my number 3.
Zach?
My gosh, Bella, how do you do that? You must be double jointed, and you must be Hungarian. My number 3 is Dracula.
I am Dracula. A moment ago, I stumbled upon a most amazing phenomenon. Something so incredible, I mistrust my own judgment. Look.
Dracula. The very mention of the name brings to mind things so evil, so fantastic, so degrading. You wonder if it isn't all a dream, a nightmare.
Rats. Rats. Thousands. Millions of them.
But no, this is no dream. This is Dracula, the original terrifying story of a maniac and a man who lived after death, lived on human blood, took the form of a vampire bat, and lured innocent girls to a fate truly worse than death.
Dracula? Oh, what's he done to you, dearie? Tell me.
He came to me. He opened and extended his arms, and he made me drink.
I was really hoping your number 3 was Ed Wood.
Which one?
1931's Dracula.
Okay.
Not Bram Stoker's Dracula.
Creature of the night.
Whoa.
What music they make.
I bid you welcome. Let's just spend the rest of the time quoting Bela Lugosi.
Down.
Nope.
Bela
Movie
Lugosi quote off.
They never
Go.
they never show him come out of the coffin because that was against standards and practices back
Yep.
in the 30s.
That was against the code. I can't believe I made that a song. I'm sorry.
Apology not accepted.
Point Ryan.
So, so tell me about Keanu Reeves' Dracula.
Fuck you.
I don't understand.
Look at all these pretty women.
Why am I being seduced?
Seduced.
Hath not a dude Count Dracula?
Oh wait, I'm supposed to have an English accent, mate.
Oh, gosh, I hate that movie. Anyway,
I think that movie's pretty stylistic and fun.
sure. Gary Oldman is good.
He's great.
The rest is not.
The original Dracula, however, is very much a stage play.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Beautifully shot, though.
You know, surprisingly well shot. When I watched it recently, I'm like, holy shit, there's a crane shot of and tracking of a carriage in this.
Yeah.
It's like, all right.
That and the swoop in, the crane swoop in on Dracula's
Yeah.
entrance. But then once you get past those elements, it does become more of a stage play. than
It does,
anything else.
but it's still.
I
one-
love how they're eating right as I'm
Yeah.
just getting into my spiel.
Your candy is delicious.
So I don't have stuff in my mouth by the time it gets around to me. This is like
You
the best
always
time
have
to do
stuff
it.
in your mouth.
Shut up, freak.
I love Bella's performance, obviously. I also love I cannot remember his name, but he plays
Van Helsing?
Yeah, I can't remember his name.
Hugh Jackman.
Dude, that was
That's
quick.
that's my number
that was
3.
So good.
And I also like Dwight Fry, who plays Renfield. He
Yeah.
does a really good Renfield.
Yeah, one of the most important films of all time
Because it
not even
created
horror.
Well, it didn't create the horror genre, but it popularized it.
Yeah, I mean, first movie was sound, so it's,
So it's yeah. I mean, that movie speaks for itself on so many levels, but also I really dig Todd Browning's staging of shots. I think he's really good at what I call the 4-shot, where you have like 4 people in the same shot and they're carrying on a conversation, and it's just on that one angle.
Yeah.
It's an art form that's now lost because we don't really have the patience for it anymore.
and one of the things too you have to get used to is, back then Dracula wasn't this like hideous monster. He was kind of this suave count.
Sexy dude, man.
Yeah.
It was the
Coming to take all your white ladies.
So you have to be.
Wait, because Dracula is about xenophobia and the fact that people from Eastern Europe are going to come and steal. all
Okay,
of
thank
Europe.
you for explaining that.
Yeah,
because I thought you were just being racist.
Nope. The book is.
I'm like, no, that's Blackula.
Hey, Blackula's fun.
Blackula is fun, and Scream Blackula Scream. Yeah.
Log on to ScreamFactory.com to get your copies today.
This whole episode should be sponsored by Scream Factory.
The whole show, Scream Factory, should be sponsored by Scream Factory. Just saying.
But
just pay us money.
The ambiance and the mood of Dracula, I think, is what makes it a good film.
Yeah. Absolutely. And also, there's what's funny is watch it side by side with the Spanish version and see which one is more technically advanced. Because the Spanish version has a lot more camera movement.
Yeah, if you get the Blu-ray, you get both versions.
Yep.
Interesting.
Yep.
Huh.
Because they used to shoot the Spanish version on the same set as the American set at night with different actors.
Oh, okay.
As opposed to making...
so it wasn't dubbed?
It wasn't dubbing, no.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Not all films did it, but most films did it at that time.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
It was to advance the market.
Right. Awesome.
James.
Plus, they just discovered sound, so...
It was...
That's right. Sam Warner just dug it out of the ground.
Yeah. Tobey Maguire had sex with some lady and sound happened. So my number 3 is a movie we actually talked about earlier that I will argue is as much a horror film as it is a science fiction film. My number 3 is Alien.
Oh.
Was that not what you thought? You got so excited.
I'm hoping E.T. is somewhere on your actual list.
No. So there are a handful of movies that I went back and forth on, like Jaws, for example, which we've talked on the show in the past about it being a fantastic horror movie. And I thought about it. I was like, well, I could do that. And I was just like, it's not in the spirit of what I felt like we were doing. But with Alien, I do think it is. Alien to me, especially when you really interpret like what that film is about and all of the, pseudo-sexual imagery of that film.
Sigourney Weaver in small underwear.
Tiny little underwear. Yeah, her tiny little butt in tiny little underwear. Anyway, that got weird.
That was the original title, right?
Little butt. Tiny little butt in tiny little underwear.
Really, you got to change this.
Right. Yeah.
Fine.
But did you see the end of the movie? No, we know.
It's too much for a poster. That's all I'm saying. Little wordy.
Yeah, and this like sans serif font is just weird. Like it's just too... Anyway, the pseudo-sexual like imagery of that movie is really horrific, and I think the monster itself is an amazing
awesome.
like it really is in a pantheon of the other great like monster movies, and especially the first film. I wouldn't argue that any of the other films are horror films. I might have a Prometheus argument in me to some degree, but especially I actually like in doing like research on this and finding other people's lists. Like I'll see Aliens pop up and I'm like, fuck you, like that's not a horror movie. But Alien really is, especially when you go look at the claustrophobia of that ship, the sequences like where not Jackson. No, is it Jackson? Anyway, where the guy is like crawling through all of the tubes with the flamethrower, and really just how amazing the first time you see both the chest burster sequence as well as the sequence with Ash. Like when Ash breaks, like that is a terrible moment. I remember, and I think for most people in just growing up in pop culture today, if you watch Alien for the first time, the chest burster is coming, and you've probably seen it. But when I watched it with my roommate who had never seen it, the most scary part of the movie for him was actually Ash. Like, because here's this character, you don't understand what's happening, and all of a sudden he starts spraying milk and weird, like, spaghetti falls out of his neck, and you're like, what the fuck is going on? This is so insane. And, yes, totally falls into the sci-fi genre, and that's a part of why I love it so much. But for me, it's just a really amazing horror film.
But you're also talking about, just like John Carpenter, you're talking about a director who is one of the best. And I think if you saw Alien last, you would be surprised on the pace of the film.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's not so much... I mean, I've enjoyed Aliens more that I've watched it a couple more times. But Alien there's only one.
Right.
And I think that's why it's scary.
And it's scarier than any of the other...
Because...
Like, the Alien Queen to me is never as scary as the original Xenomorph.
Because they don't know what's happening.
Right.
They're outnumbered, and it's only one of them.
And they're basically construction workers.
Exactly. And
like, they're not Space Marines, you know?
And it's there's so many scenes you can point to in that film that work so well. And
oh, dude, the fucking chain room.
Yep.
Why is there a creepy wet room full of chains?
And that deals with how well the cinematographer and Ridley Scott use that confined space.
Yeah.
You know, I think it's definitely one of the best sci-fi movies.
Yeah. Cool. That's my number 3.
My number 3 is actually, I think, the greatest horror film of all time. The only reason it's number 3 is because, again, remember, this is my Halloween list. But when you talk about movies that have endings that I think are shocking and is actually maybe the least amount about the monsters and more about a commentary on social structure, like all of George Romero films, Night of the Living Dead, I think, is the greatest horror film of all time.
Welcome to a night of total terror. Night of the living dead, the dead who live on living flesh, the dead whose haunted souls hunt the living whose bodies are the only food for these ungodly creatures. Night of the living dead. A bizarre adventure in fear. An experience in shock more shattering than your strangest nightmare. Night of the living dead. A night with the dead who cannot die. A night of total terror. Night of the living dead.
it's a hard movie to show to people for a party because they're like, oh, why is this so slow moving? And it's not super gory. I mean, there's parts in there that are pretty scary, but
yeah, it's something
because
that
your
I think
friends'
people...
attention spans suck.
Exactly. I mean, I would never, if we were having a Halloween party,
Yeah.
I would never put this one in and like, hey, sit down and watch this amazing social commentary about who's racist and what.
Right.
It just doesn't work.
Right, because either people aren't going to pay attention, or people like me are going to sit down and not pay attention to the party.
Exactly. So, what makes the film work is it's the opening. And I love the name Night of the Living Dead. I think it's such a great name. But the opening is a brother and a sister going to their mother's grave to put flowers on, and without any explanation, without any reasoning, there's a dude walking through the graveyard, and the brother says, "He's coming to get you, Barbara. Look, there's one of them now." And
They're coming for you.
He's just teasing her, and then when the man you don't know is a zombie yet gets to what's his brother's name? I can't remember.
Steve.
No, it's I can't believe I can't remember right now. What a brain and fart. It's Johnny, and it takes a weird a really dark turn because he's teasing his sister about these people walking through the cemetery. Then he immediately changes to protecting his sister because this man is attacking her, in turns attacks him, and he ends up dying. And then the man looks up at his sister, chases her to a farmhouse. In the farmhouse, she meets a family that's holed up in the farmhouse, and a man named Ben, who is a black man, goes to the house, and he becomes the hero of the film. And this film was released in 1969, at a time when you don't a black man in the lead was not really the norm. And to have the black man in the lead and not only be the lead, but be the hero and be the guy who's kind of getting everybody out of the predicament they're in, it was revolutionary at the time. And
it's 1 year after Martin Luther King was killed.
Exactly. And so you have this tension with the Coopers in the basement where their daughter was bit, and they said, she's sick, we don't know what's going on with her. And he's saying it's safer in the basement. Ben is saying, no, it's safer where we have room to fight. We have, So basically it's a racial tensions about who knows better. And what makes this film really terrifying, I remember, I've told this story many times, I'll just tell it again. It could be someone's first podcast. I'll never forget going to Walgreens with my grandmother, and they had a 99-cent bin of videos. My brothers would pick something like Woody Woodpecker or what other, Felix the Cat, whatever other cheapo cartoons they'd put on video cassettes. And I remember grabbing Night of the Living Dead. And as a kid, I could never make it to the end because the zombies start pouring into the farmhouse. And her brother, Johnny, shows up. And Barbara's so scared that she doesn't know what to do. And she ends up getting pulled out by Johnny. And so she's basically murdered by her own brother. And they pour in the house. And then you realize that the safest place was actually the basement. Because Ben goes down there and he finds that the little girl came back as a zombie and murdered her parents. And he has to kill this little girl. And he makes all the way through the end of the night, and he wakes up because he hears guys outside shooting and talking. So he finally gets to the top, and this is spoilers for a movie that's 43 years old. He gets to the 46, jeez, gets to the top, and he's looking around, and then he gets shot, and that's the end of the movie.
And the line that comes right after is it. There's another one.
Yeah, there's another one for the fire. Nice shot. So
it's so
it's a gut punch.
It's impactful
because nobody wins,
right?
And it's I still think it's the greatest horror film ever made. So yeah, Night of the Living Dead.
Nope.
I love that movie. I'm waiting for a proper Blu-ray release on it, which I heard they just restored it in 4K. So hopefully I'll get it.
That's the one that was released so that anyone could make DVDs?
It's in public domain.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So if you're going to get a DVD, make sure you get the George Romero 40th anniversary.
Is the 4K update that you're talking about, is that one that he'll actually get money for?
I hope so. I hope so because he birthed the whole zombie genre as we know it. I mean, they had Bela Lugosi's White Zombie before, but that was a lot of witchcraft and and Haitian stuff. This is, you don't know what brought him back to life. You get bit, you turn into a zombie.
Yeah.
So so I love that movie. Brad,
cool.
Number 2.
Now we're on number 2. My number 2 is Monsters, Inc., because it has monsters in it.
Nice.
Adorable.
Just kidding. It's really awesome. It's Friday the 13th, Part 4. The final chapter.
Three times before, you have felt the terror, known the madness, lived the horror. But this is the one you've been screaming for. Friday the 13th, the final chapter. Jason is back. He moves like a shadow, dark and silent.
Sorry you changed your mind?
He never utters a word. He doesn't even seem to breathe.
Where the hell's the corkscrew?
He simply, mindlessly, mercilessly kills. But now, Jason's reign of terror is over. Friday the 13th, the final chapter. Jason's unlucky day.
I was gonna say, it's actually not called Part 4.
I was gonna say, wait, they've only made 4 of those movies?
It's not. Yeah, it's Part 4, the final chapter.
It's called Friday the 13th, the final chapter.
Okay, nerds, stop fighting.
Yeah. Someone fact check this for me.
I'm doing it right now. Talk about the movie while you like it.
It's on your shelf. Just pull it down.
Then I have to pull it out of like the tin and everything. And it's easier to just look at IMDb.
You want to make sure that the discs stay pristine.
Anyway, it's my number 2 because I love the Friday the 13th movies. Well, most of them. Like the first Friday the 13th is a classic, but it doesn't have Jason Voorhees in it. It doesn't have the hockey mask, all the iconic stuff. And the second one doesn't even have that. The fourth one, I think, is has all the elements you want and has a pretty well-rounded out story, and gives Jason, I think it's like its first solid protagonist in Tommy Jarvis. He's this kid who feels like an outcast, and he's really into horror makeup and stuff, and he builds all these masks and things, and it's interesting that they pit Jason against a kid. Oh, look what we got here. Friday the 13th, the final chapter. Well, you proved me wrong. It should be, though.
Checking my Friday the 13th
Well, but
stat.
the poster, 2 of the letters make the Roman numeral 4.
Yeah.
And so
the final
it's
the
really,
A final is a 4.
I think the poster's badass.
Yeah. It's also one of the best Jason posters because it's the hockey mask, the blood under it, and the knife in the eye.
Yeah,
that one, yeah. Okay.
If people ask me what the ultimate Friday the 13th movie is, it's absolutely the final chapter. Because, just what you said, you have a group of teenagers, you have Jason just murdering them like crazy, Tom Savini's makeup effects, Crispin Glover, who I think is amazing in it. The dead fuck thing I think is awesome.
That's a sentence.
Yeah, it's just... And I think Jason's scary in it. I do, because he's unrelenting. And one of my favorite deaths is when that dude who's in the shower, when he just smashes his head against the wall. I think scary. When he saws the morgue's dude's head and then he twists his neck all the way around. I mean, this movie's really violent.
Yeah.
And really awesome and loaded with nudity.
It really got into its a groove in there, because the first one, the first time I went through these, I was working on Hollywood Video and I was just grabbing the tapes off the shelf.
Sure.
I think you got 2 a week or something.
Remember Hollywood Video had the squeezy box sides?
Yeah. I know Blockbuster had the clamshells. And,
Yeah.
Hollywood Video had the clear squeeze boxes.
They only give you 2 free rentals a week?
I think it was like that. I mean, this is 16 years ago now.
Sure.
So I don't remember But yeah, like I used a lot of that time to go through the horror shelf, like find all these like cheap, 80s, 90s horror movies that, never would have seen otherwise. But yeah, like I started with Friday the 13th, and I was like, oh, cool, like I'm gonna get into this mythology. I'm like, oh, where's Jason? Except for at the very end. And then the second one, I'm like, okay, cool, like I want to see the hockey mask killer, and then he has a bag over his head. And the third one, like, it's like, oh, it's in 3D. It's supposed to be the 3D one, and it's just people like pointing sticks at the camera. And yeah, he finally gets the hockey mask, but like a lot of it's just it's pointing sticks.
But he keeps taking it
all
off and
gimmicky.
holding it into the camera.
Yeah.
I think when the reveal of him with the hockey mask is badass, though.
Yeah,
he's like walking down a dock, and it's really well constructed.
Yeah.
But yeah, part 4 is
like the fully realized.
Oh yeah,
of those three,
exactly. And his death is pretty gruesome and awesome. He takes a machete to the side of the face.
Cool.
And what makes the death even better is he falls, and as he's falling down, his head is sliding down, so his head is being sawed by the machete because it's stuck in the side of his head.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, it's really well done. But yeah, I mean, part 2 is fun too. I think actually, people think I'm crazy. I think part 2 is better than part 1 because I think it's better made.
Also, I was watching 1 and 2 last night, and 1 is just really slow to get to anything.
I mean, still, 1 is still a classic horror film,
right?
But if you I've always done rankings of them, but I think part 2 is better than part 1, and I think the ultimate Friday the 13th is the final chapter.
Yeah.
Cool.
So,
Zach?
My number 2 has one of the best endings to a horror film I've ever seen, and it reaffirms the fact that man is the warmest place to hide. My number 2 is The Thing.
Mayday. Anyone hear me? This is U.S. Station 31. You read me? Found something in the ice. We need some help down here. Can anybody hear me? We found something. We found something. We found something.
12 men have just discovered something. For 100,000 years, it was buried in the snow and ice. Now it has found a place to live. Inside. Where no one can see it, or hear it, or feel it.
I know I'm human. Some of you are still human. This thing doesn't want to show itself. It wants to hide inside an imitation. It'll fight if it has to, but it's vulnerable out in the open. If it takes us over, then it has no more enemies. Nobody left to kill it. And then it's won.
You guys gonna listen to Gary? He can be one of those things!
$1955s.
No,
that would not die.
Let me. That's the brain that wouldn't die, and that's the thing from another world.
Oh, right.
Oh, the 2011 one. Yeah.
No.
It does have Mary Elizabeth Winstead in it.
Yeah.
Oh man, I love that movie.
It's the best
when
one.
the light is blinking at her face at the end. Oh, so good.
Hannah and Her Sisters is a movie directed by Woody Allen.
That's a movie that is better than people give it credit for.
Oh, absolutely.
But anyways,
the remake of The Thing,
the prequel to The Thing.
Prequel to The Thing. Sorry.
Yes.
No, John Carpenter's The Thing.
That's an amazing movie.
Yeah, that's a pretty good movie.
If you've listened to me on the show before, you know I have a mad affection for a man named Kurt Russell and his luxurious beard.
And John Carpenter and his luxurious beard.
Basically, I have a thing for men with beards, and who smoke
Watch
cigarettes.
out, James.
How y'all do? And smoke cigarettes. So many hoops to jump through.
Get a smoking habit, James.
Yeah, start wanting to kill yourself.
That's how I get sexy.
Everybody smoke.
Cigarettes. So basically, like again, if you've been living under rocks, the story of The Thing is a bunch of explorers out in the middle of the Arctic come across a dog that's been being chased down by these Norwegians in a helicopter, and they don't know where the dog, what's going on with the dog, so they go to investigate the Norwegian campsite after the Norwegians blow themselves up rather carelessly, because the dynamite flips back. It's almost like a wah wah.
Whackity smackity do.
And they go and discover that something had been carved out of the ice by the Norwegians, and this thing was latched onto the dog, and now it starts taking the form of anything it sees. It replicates itself almost perfectly. And one of the things about it is it's the designs of the creatures are very, and I'm using this term rather loosely because I don't know what the direct influence is, but it feels like it's Lovecraftian type of monsters, like demons from hell and shit. The tension is palpable, like you could cut it with a fucking knife. It has one of those great endings where you don't know if either one of them is the thing or if one of them is the thing, and they just decide to sit back with a bottle of scotch and wait it out.
Mm-hmm.
And it just blows me away every time I see it. Like, it's the most bleak. It's the first of the Apocalypse trilogy that Carpenter did, with Prince of Darkness and In the Mouth of Madness being the other ones.
Yeah.
Where there's no resolution. And unlike the other Carpenter film we were talking about, there's a resolution in Halloween. There's no resolution in the thing.
Right.
I feel like there's something about it that says about humanity and how we trust each other. Like, it's do you trust your neighbor? Do you trust anybody in this world? So yeah, that's my number 2. John Carpenter's The Thing.
That's a good one.
Nice.
Yeah. All right.
Trick or treaters at the door.
What? Really?
Specifically, a little boy named Kellen.
Aww.
Who wants nothing more
He's dressed up as Mario.
than to bother Brad.
Quick. Everybody's got to eat all the candy really quick. Cool. My number 2 is one of the smartest films we've reviewed on this show, in my opinion, and also some of the most fun I've had seeing a movie for this podcast. My number 2 is Cabin in the Woods.
Everybody ready? Let's go on the road!
Acquiring targets.
We're looking for,
Tillerman Road.
I'll get you there. Getting back. That's your concern.
This is awesome.
No way. Lock them in.
The lambs have come to the killing floor.
Something weird is going on. What is that thing? Somebody sent those things here to get us.
We gotta get out of here.
Oh my god, what is this place?
The cabin in the woods.
I think I can get it to go down. Do we want to go down?
Rated R. In theaters April 13th.
What is the... Mr. Rogers? Hey! Is he Mario? Oh my goodness, he's dressed up like Mario! Oh! Intermission, everybody.
So everybody, Cabin in the Woods is the story about Kellen dressed up as Mario.
No, fuck that. Look at how cute he is. His little hat with an M on it. Oh man, this is a plumber. Hey, come here, you little rascal. Oh, you booger.
Like the Bob Hoskins because he doesn't have the...
Oh, that's what the mustache
is for. But he's doing the same expressions
as
as Bob Hoskins with his hands.
You're just gonna draw the mustache on? Oh, okay. Okay. That makes sense. Oh, that's adorable. Great. So anyway, Cabin in the Woods.
Merman
is a
Killer unicorn. That's all I have to say.
Oh man, like genuinely one of the most satisfying experiences I've had in a theater while we've been doing this show. Like, it is such an intelligent film that is so much fun to watch. Moves really well, tells you a really great story, and then there's a moment when elevator doors open and you get to watch everything you've ever wanted to happen. Like, that whole film is so satisfying.
And that's not vague at all.
No, well, I know, if you've seen it, like, yeah, literally, like, you want to see giant spiders and ghouls eat a bunch of military dudes, you're gonna get it.
Well, I still think one of the greatest reactions in a film I've ever seen live. Besides the Star Wars that you're going to get, but was when the unicorn stabbed that dude.
Yes.
The theater went crazy.
Yes. Oh yeah, it was so cool. Yeah, I mean that whole movie, and it's really smart. That is a movie that I've spent a lot of time thinking about, and have like read a lot of essays and watched a lot of like video essays for, because there's a lot of really, I mean, Drew Goddard and Joss Whedon wrote a script that is so damn smart and has so much going on in it, and plays on these like very traditional tropes of horror films in really intelligent ways. I can't recommend the movie enough. Like it's just so much fun to watch. So yeah, and also has Sigourney Weaver in it.
Spoilers, bro.
Yeah, but she's never just in tiny little underwear.
No.
So, yeah. Anyway, yeah, that's my number 2.
My number 2 is, we've talked on the show before, and much like the antagonist, he won't stay dead. You can't kill him. This movie brought him back to life. My number 2 is Friday the 13th, Part 6, Jason Lives.
The one where he's on a boat.
No,
that's Manhattan.
That's Jason Takes Manhattan.
Is this the one where Buster Rhymes says "trick or treat"?
Motherfucker. No.
It's not even a Friday movie.
No, this movie was Scream before there was Scream. It's a Friday the 13th film that was written and directed by a guy who loves the gothic horror films of Frankenstein and Dracula, and that's why it has kind of that ambiance to it. But his name's Tom McLaughlin, and he got his start on TV writing variety shows for Dick Van Dyke and Carol Burnett. So he kind of has this kind of funny sensibility about him. And if you've ever watched any special features with him talking about this film, he's incredibly well spoken, and he cares immensely about delivering a fun experience. And that's what I think about. While I think Part 4 is the ultimate Friday the 13th, my favorite Friday the 13th film is Part 6. Because it's just, it strikes all the right chords with me. I think Jason's really good in it.
He disagrees.
Come on, Dad.
Everybody knows it's all about Jason Goes to Hell.
Is that a Mario game you're playing? Huh?
But, there's even starts really badass where Tommy Jarvis from Part 4 is haunted by Jason. So he's been in a psych ward for I don't know how long, 10 years, whatever the time is. And he goes to Crystal Lake because he's going to make sure that Jason's dead, because he's haunted that Jason isn't dead.
Yeah.
They basically ignore Part 5 because they should. And so by doing that, so he goes to a cemetery and he digs up Jason's grave, and Jason's body's in there, decomposed, dead. And so he stabs Jason repeatedly with a piece of cast iron fence pole, and it gets struck by lightning, comes back to life much like Frankenstein, and then he becomes like a unkillable zombie. And they have a lot of kind of funny little jabs at the audience. Like Like the caretaker says, some people have a sick idea of entertainment while looking at the camera. Yeah, it's just a fun movie.
Does he think I'm a fart head?
Yes! And then it has John Travolta's nephew who looks like John Travolta in it.
Cool.
Yep. What is it? What's your number one there, Brad?
You're on to my number one?
Yep.
All right, this is it. All right, so to finish my playlist that you should watch to feel like you're experiencing Halloween, my number one is the best one of the series. It's Star Wars The Empire Strikes Back, because there's Force Ghosts in it. Just kidding. It's the very first Saw.
Someone there? I can hear you. Who is that? Who's in there?
Hello, Adam. Dr. Gordon. I want to play a game.
The Jigsaw Killer.
Paul, find the path through the razor wire.
Technically speaking, he's not really a murderer. He never killed anyone.
Dr. Gordon, your aim in this game is to kill Adam. If you do not, then Diana will die.
He finds ways for his victims to kill themselves.
I'm sick of people who don't appreciate their blessings. I've given you a life purpose.
Looks like our friend Jigsaw likes to book himself front row seats to his own sick games.
He doesn't want us to cut through our chains. He wants us to cut through our feet.
Most people are so ungrateful to be alive. Not anymore.
You are a drug addict. Do you think that is why he picked you?
He helped me. Don't believe Adam's lies.
Live or die. Make your choice.
Almost made my list, but I really, I would agree. It's one of the top ones to show at Halloween nowadays.
Yeah, it's kind of like my generation's Friday the 13th, like, the 80s, like teenagers of the 80s, and they had, Elm Street and Friday the 13th, but, like, I was, the early 2000s, that was Saw. Like, every year there was a new Saw movie.
But the Halloween, it must be Saw.
Yeah, I think that was the actual tagline of one of the posters, and the first one, they got really derivative by the end, but the first one, when there's that end reveal, I was like, wow.
Yeah, and the first one wasn't necessarily predicated on the traps, which, there's traps in it.
Yeah.
But it was more of the mystery of what's happening to
the mystery was really strong.
Dr. Gordon.
Yeah.
Why is he in this room? Why is that one guy? How are they connected?
And you're figuring it out with them.
Yeah.
I think it was just really smartly set up. Yeah. And yeah, it wasn't about the traps. Like, it was a cool thing, but the sequels were all about, like, oh, what kind of cool torture can we do to these people?
What kind of type of carnival attraction can we turn into a death trap?
Yeah, which I think, the Saw series, I think, kind of lost its way at 4 and 5. I thought 6 actually had some great ideas in it. I thought 7 was actually a pretty nice way to tie it up.
Shit, there's 7 of them.
There'll be an 8th one next year.
I do appreciate how they were able to, like they were, like, the continuity was there. Like, they were actually all part.
Mm-hmm.
Like Friday the 13th, it's like part 1, part 2, but they're not really directly connected stories other than Jason. But Saw was directly, like, the next one's picked up where the last one ended a lot of times, and it was pretty impressive how they managed to, once they switched to that other detective, kind of becoming the Jigsaw character. I was pretty impressed with how they worked it into a story that they didn't plan this out ahead of time.
And it's I'm not the biggest fan of Saw 5, and I think I'm like, this sucks. But then when they start tying it all together, I'm like, this is cool again. But the first Saw is introduction of Jigsaw and someone who has nothing to lose and taking his frustrations out on you. I think is a cool idea.
It makes you kill yourself.
Yeah, he's punishing you for being a douchebag, basically.
Yeah.
Because calling it the douchebag killing games was not.
No, it doesn't work as well.
The police are looking for the
and I think
killer.
the little puppet Billy, I think, is a great visual character.
Yeah, which is interesting because he's not the Jigsaw. Like it's just a prop that he
that's what's
used for a
video. I
video.
think that's what's funny too. It's just much like the shark in Jaws. Everyone thinks his name is Jaws, which it's not. But
Bruce.
It's Bruce. But just like in Saw, the puppet's not Jigsaw. His name's Billy. Jigsaw is the actual bad guy. Billy is just a talking head for him, basically. But just again, you never know with how you design a character what's really going to stick with people.
So yeah, that is my 10. So happy Halloween.
Cool. Zach?
Why don't you take a wild freaking guess, Mr. Frost?
Friday 13th Part 6?
Dr. Giggles.
Oh, fuck, I forgot about that movie.
My number 1 is Dr. Giggles.
I knew it.
No, my number 1 was Halloween.
Womp, womp, womp.
Now you can never enjoy it again.
No, I can't. I don't think I've ever told how I first saw Halloween, but I was 11
Don't
years
start
old.
now.
I was 11 years old, and Brad came to me from the future and said, "You have to watch this movie because we're going to make jokes about you in the future." That's pretty much how it happened. No, my dad showed it to me because I was obsessed with the image of The Mask growing up as a kid.
So you're obsessed with William Shatner?
Hey, manipulated William Shatner.
Manipulated William Shatner.
Yeah, William Shatner has a tan.
Because
The Mask is white.
So I was curious about what this was, and my dad had seen it before, and he was just like, "Don't tell your mom," and he just hands off this disc to me of Halloween to watch in the
Disc?
basement.
Fuck, I'm old.
Oh, man.
It's like he handed me a DVD of Halloween.
He handed me the DVD from Blockbuster, and he was just like, "Do not tell your mom."
Is it just me, or is it like movies are scarier on VHS?
It's just you.
Okay.
I've seen Halloween on a VHS tape. It's no different. It's just it's cropped. But the problem is that with VHS you don't get the anamorphic widescreen presentation of that film.
Remember the pan and scan shit?
Yeah, I was just going to say, I feel like it is scarier because pan and scan is terrifying.
Ooh, I'm ruining the image.
What's happening on 25% of the sides? I don't know.
We're in control of what you see.
I remember the first movie I really noticed it in was Ghostbusters 2.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Sorry. I saw it in 1 because in the elevator they pan right like across.
Oh, yeah,
all
yeah,
three of
yeah.
them. Yeah, it's,
I don't know why Ghostbusters 2 is the one I remembered. Anyways.
Anyway.
But to wrap it all up, one of the reasons I love Halloween above anything else is because I loved the character of Dr. Loomis. I really liked the idea, because I was getting freaked out at some point when I was first watching the movie. I was getting freaked out by Michael. And then in walks Loomis with his gun and just fires 6 shots. Right into Michael's heart. And even though Michael gets
God
away...
damn you, Michael.
As a matter of fact, it was.
He's a great actor.
The boogeyman. I met this 6-year-old child with this blank, pale, and motionless face. So I love the character Dr. Loomis as like that was the security blanket.
Yeah.
When I was younger for
because he is the guy who can save you because he understands Michael.
He's the man who understands the boogeyman. Or the man who knows Indians.
Was that the boogeyman?
As a matter of fact, it was. I'll say that to the end of the time. I'm a huge John Carpenter fan, so he's one of my top directors of all time. I got to give it up to Halloween for me. And also, it's just a very tightly constructed piece of American cinema that I think that can't be challenged whatsoever. So yeah, thanks for sweeping that leg.
Yeah.
I knew it would be swept. I told James in the car, I'm like, I know he's going to sweep my number one.
Well, shut up, because you did it too.
Maybe you should just get your own number one, Zach.
Maybe I will.
My number one is one of my favorite films of all time, actually. Another one that is kind of surprising. It's actually a movie that I watched around Halloween. The first time I saw it actually, Ryan, with your wife and a friend of ours, Sean. My number one is John Carpenter's The Thing. Oh, yeah, there's no more trailer.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Son of a bitch.
It was just a pause for emphasis.
Yeah, this, I've talked a lot about paranoia in my list. I just think that this movie is really brilliant. It's, yes, the practical effects are great, but it's really about how you have this monster that is so difficult to beat that the audience actually gets to feel smart and gets to feel like the characters are smart as they are constantly trying to find different ways of figuring out who the thing is. The sequence with the Petri dishes is one of my favorite suspense sequences in a movie ever. And honestly, it's part of why I love the prequel a lot as well, because I think it did a really good job of mimicking some of that. Because I think that the whole idea of looking in people's teeth for fillings was similarly a really great way of combating this terrible monster. Everything that I said about Alien as, hey, these people are construction workers who can't really do anything, in The Thing, these people are all, or mostly are scientists who are using their intellect to try and solve this problem. They are completely incapable of doing so because it's a crazy super alien monster thingy that could turn into anything and kill everyone. But you still feel encouraged, I guess, by these characters as they are trying their best. And that's part of what makes the monster so absolutely terrifying. I also love so much of the behind the scenes of the making of this film, learning about it's similarly some 19 or 22-year-old kid who had never done special effects before and basically made this movie that has special effects that are going to be continuously referenced as some of the greatest practical effects ever on film. There's some of them that don't hold up. I think that the opening of the chest doesn't work as well. But anything like when the whole dog sequence, when the dog breaks in half, is still one of the most terrifying and horrific looking things that I've ever seen. It is. It's just everything in that movie is just the stuff of nightmares. And yeah, I mean the ending is really fantastic. The kind of ending that I tend to like a lot, where it just sort of stops, and you are left to live in the uncomfortable. Yeah, I just adore that movie. Man, I really want to go home and watch The Thing.
I'm thinking the same thing.
Right, yeah.
You know what you guys do? You should get the Scream Factory Collector's Edition like I have.
Yeah, I know. I need to.
It's 2 discs, and it's pretty amazing. And, I mean, the new transfer is stunning.
I think it's on the... at Best Buy, it's on the $9 Halloween shelf right now.
Nice.
Yeah. And I also do want to stand up for the
Best Buy.
I also do want to stand up for the prequel because I actually really like the prequel. I think if they had not done the CGI monsters, I would tell you that I think that movie is 90% of what the original is. The only thing that holds it back, and even the CGI creatures sometimes are really terrifying.
Yeah.
I think when they're on the helicopter and they're starting to take off, and the one guy's face just sort of cracks, a part of it just pops forward. It's very disturbing, and I think there's it sort of scratches an itch when you actually get to spoilers for the Theme prequel, but when you actually get to go see the spaceship and get some closure in let's actually go see what this thing looks like, and where it came from.
The original, The Thing, the very original one.
Yeah, right. But that's why, I find that very satisfying in a way that I guess I probably shouldn't. But I also think that the ending is really of the prequel is really good. It came up a lot this week because the writer of it came out and said a whole bunch of shit about that movie. But I think it's really great. So anyway,
what was he saying? Bad shit?
He was just talking about some of the things that they changed and how when he wrote it, he had intended it for a lot more practical.
You know what's funny
effects.
is writers always think they write something better than what shows up on screen.
Often.
Yeah.
Yeah. The other thing was that he had a different ending. He disagrees with the ending, and I don't. I really like the ending. There was something where like she gets left out in the cold, and you're supposed to know like, oh, she's gonna freeze to death. And I think that the ending of, hey, you don't have enough gas to get anywhere, you're gonna freeze to death, is actually more chilling.
Yeah.
And it's only done by there's that faint red flicker on her face, and you know that light is the, hey, you don't have any fuel light. Like, it's just great. It's a cool movie. So yeah, go watch The Thing, and also go watch The Thing.
Yep.
And then The Other Thing. And then The Thing
No,
before
don't watch
that.
The Other Thing. That's not very good.
And The Thing before that.
Hey, Ryan, what's your number one thing?
Oh, geez. I mean, if you guys don't know what my number one Halloween movie of all time is...
All right, everybody, let's go home.
Yep. My number one Halloween movie of all time is my favorite movie of all time is Army of Darkness.
In an age of darkness
May God have mercy upon your souls. Something's wrong. Something's amiss.
and a time of evil,
You shall die!
when the world needed a hero,
The swallow us all. I don't want to die.
what it got was him.
Groovy. You know your shoelace is untied.
He's a 20th century guy
For that arrogance, I shall see you dead.
trapped in the Middle Ages.
All right, you primitive screwheads, listen up. This is my boomstick.
Now, let's talk about how I get back home.
Foretold by a mystical book.
Within its pages are passages that can send you back to your time.
Forewarned by a wise man.
You must recite the words Klaatu, Berata, Niktu.
I got it.
Fulfilled by a wise guy.
Klaatu, Barada.
When thou misspoke the words, the army of the dead awoke.
Now he's got a date.
Give me some sugar, baby.
With the army of darkness.
You found me beautiful once.
Honey, you got real ugly.
Sound the trumpets. Raise the drawbridge. Drop the Oldsmobile. From Sam Raimi,
Oh, that's gonna hurt.
director of Darkman, comes Army of Darkness. They live. They breathe. They suck. Army of Darkness.
No surprise to anybody. I talk about this movie probably ad nauseum, but
Yep.
it's still funny. I still love Sam Raimi. Get the Scream Factory Collector's Edition, 3 discs. It's the only bummer thing about the Scream Factory one has everybody in the retrospect. Everybody's in it except for Sam Raimi.
Yeah.
I mean they have like people who played monsters in it, but not Sam Raimi.
Yeah.
But it does have a great commentary with him, Bruce Campbell, and his brother Ivan Raimi, who wrote the movie. But yeah, it's everything I love about movies. There's horror. It's funny. You know,
it's great.
Yeah. I've talked about it so much I don't know what else to add to it.
Yeah,
but,
seriously.
Yeah, but just go see it and know that it's funny.
Yeah.
One of my favorite jokes is all the skeletons are coming up, and one comes up and he coughs up dust, and the other skeleton says, "Welcome back to the land of the living. Now pick up a shovel and get to work." I think it's funny.
Yeah, that movie is great.
And Give Me Some Sugar Baby was
Give Me Some Sugar Baby
was ad-libbed
Yep.
on set by Sam Raimi. He was sitting and watching the scene. I forget what he said, what the original line was. And Bruce Campbell is telling the story, and he says, all of a sudden he hears like Sam Raimi going, and so he goes over and says, "Sam, what's up?" He says, when you grab her, say, "Give me some sugar, baby." And so that's how that line came about.
I love your Sam Raimi impression.
He needs to make another movie soon.
Yeah, he does. Has he not touched anything since Oz?
Mm-mm. Well, I mean, he's produced a lot, and
No, of course.
and he
Yeah.
did the pilot for Ash.
Oh.
Yeah. What?
Yeah, he's gonna hit me.
He just hit you.
Yeah.
Why are they trying to parallel park there? Anyway,
That's a nightmare.
They just
All right.
suck at this.
We should
but-
wrap up the show so
All
Brad
right.
can go throw rocks at that lady's car.
Thanks for listening.
Oh.
We had fun. I
Yeah.
mean, it's totally different what we'd normally done. I can't find where's Henry's email. Like I was just
Oh, I
looking
don't know.
for it. He sent us a list of 5 films.
Oh yeah, he did. It's on Twitter.
I know. I looked on Twitter. I couldn't find it.
Let me find it.
I'll also say that my cousin Lisa sent me a film that she loves on Halloween time, and she wanted to know if it counted, and her favorite is Donnie Darko.
No. Doesn't count. Sorry. I really wanted to get Hansel and Gretel Witch Hunters on the list, but then I also thought that was not in the spirit.
What the fuck is this lady doing?
She's still doing it? I think she might be an alcoholic. Just saying. Yeah.
So this was a fun one. A lot of different films.
Yeah.
You know, Zach went like the high class route. I went the trashy route.
Brad
I got it.
What the fuck
Cool.
route.
I also wanted to put Bubba Hotep on my list. Also,
Nice.
was in...
Can I have
That
an
comes out on
honorable-
Screen Factory next week.
I would put an honorable mention for the birds because I remember the birds scaring the crap out of me when I was younger.
I would also put an honorable mention for Psycho, which I
still
thought
doing
I
it.
should have put on
Yeah.
my list. But
Psycho I consider a thriller.
Again,
Sure.
I did it based on what I watch on Halloween.
Oh, agreed.
If you want to see my 100 favorite horror films of all time, you can log on to go to realnerdspodcast.com and just search Ryan's 100 favorite horror films, and it will pop up.
Yep.
In your Google search.
Okay,
Find
so
it?
yeah, here's Henry's list. He only did a top 5 though, so
well, he's a youngin.
yeah, he has a lot of horror films still to watch. His number 5 is Scooby-Doo and the Ghoul School,
So, like I said, youngin.
which I think is just a cartoon movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not the actual films.
Laura knows what it is. I have no idea. Laura says he's right. He's wrong.
Number 4 is Blood Sabbath, which I've never heard of.
Is that like Black
What an
Sabbath
art
or
house
like-
asshole.
I know. I was just realizing, like, he's gonna make his number 1 Mulholland Drive.
Number 3 is the recent Fright Night, 2011.
Nice.
Yeah, that's a great movie.
Number 2, The Burbs, which
Okay.
I can see that.
for sure.
Yeah. He said he's not sure if it counts or not, but he's including it.
It counts because he put it on the list.
Yep. And his number 1 horror movie, or Halloween movie, is The Ring,
Oh, okay, cool.
which I'm guessing is the American one, not the
Yeah.
Japanese one.
Yeah, 'cause
Otherwise,
I-
he said it was what is it, Ringu?
Yeah.
I think the ending when she comes out of the TV is terrifying.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Neat.
So thanks, Henry.
Yeah.
Cool.
There were some other ones like I wish I could have got on there, like modern, like newer ones, like What We Do in the Shadows.
Yeah, I thought about that.
I would have put House of the Devil on there. It barely made it, but
Yeah.
The House of the Devil. Yeah.
I mean, I debated
Or the
Zombieland, Shaun of the Dead,
Tucker and Dale versus Evil.
Tucker and Dale. I knew someone was going to throw Shaun of the Dead on there, so I wasn't too worried about it. But
I really wanted to put the Neon Demon on here just because,
Yeah.
But then I realized that is actually kind of disingenuous because that's just my interpretation of the movie.
Right.
Like, it is a thriller more than anything.
I think it's
you
still
know?
like you said, a vampire movie, but
Yeah,
like my list was about the vibe of Halloween. And so, yeah.
Agreed.
And another one from like the early 2000s that I wanted to get on there was Shadow the Vampire.
Yes.
Yeah,
that is a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's not. Yeah, it's like 11 for the list.
Sure.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah. And of course, Ghostbusters. Like that's a fun one to put on there.
Yeah.
Oh, sure.
Because it's
called
a,
Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
Yeah, it came out this
a few
year.
of them.
Yeah. It's got a lot of ladies in it. It's really good.
Oh, okay. I think
Yeah.
I think I'll check it out and then bash it on the internet for no reason.
Yeah, no, women
Yeah.
are very skilled at doing funny things.
Really?
Yeah, they can be. Yeah.
Crazy.
Uh-huh.
Wow. Living under a rock.
Yes, so thanks for listening. These are always fun. Next year, forget everything you know about reality.
This is not reality.
We're seeing Doctor Strange next week.
Oh, I thought you said next
Yeah,
year.
you said next year. I was
yeah.
so confused.
I was like,
Did
what?
I? I
Yes.
meant next week.
Yeah.
I was
gotta
just
wait till
saying.
Blu-ray.
Dude, I really hope that Sam Neill pops up in Doctor Strange.
I still laugh every time. I forget at the beginning of the year what movie I was seeing, but they had a trailer for X-Men and they had a trailer for Doctor Strange, and they both had the line, "Forget everything you know."
Yes.
Forget everything you know about the X-Men. Forget everything you know about reality. So that'll be a fun one. It's getting very good reviews.
Yeah. I'm excited. I gotta go get some tickets.
Colorado's own Scott Derrickson, director.
Yeah, it's from Westminster.
Yeah.
The woman who used to babysit me is like close friends with him because her husband grew up with him.
Awesome. Yeah, we
I know.
gotta.
I need to leverage that relationship.
You should. I mean, he's always been really nice. I mean,
Yeah.
usually when I tweet him, he always tweets back. So
Yeah.
Because I always hashtag my tweet to him 303 represent. I think that's what gets him.
Yeah. Scott, if you're ever in Denver, stop by Ryan's house and we'll...
He was at the Alamo a couple months ago.
Yeah, he was.
Am I the only one doing the opening day with the glass, the Alamo glass?
What time have you seen it at?
7?
7 on
Brad,
Thursday?
We can all get glasses if we want to.
I think I can make it.
Same.
Yeah, I'm not sure when I'm going yet. So.
All right.
Yeah, I want to see it opening. I work midnight to 10 in the morning. It's always hard for me to do things during the week. But
I'm in LA until Wednesday, and then I'm not sure what Thursday looks
Oh,
like, so.
he's in LA.
Yeah.
Oh, fancy pants over here.
Yeah.
California dreaming.
So,
Laura, what's your
you.
number one horror movie?
Yeah, what's your number
Halloween
one horror film of all
Halloween
time?
movie. I think I know what it is,
fuck.
but
I don't know. My number one Halloween movie, of course, is Hocus Pocus.
Yeah!
But...
What a
I
shit
actually,
movie.
I would have guessed Nightmare Before Christmas.
I really... Well, that's just like...
That's a Christmas movie!
That's just like my soul, really. I really like Rob Zombie's Halloween. Is my favorite one to watch, I think.
Okay!
Zach's like, blasphemy.
Can we make that a soundbite now? That
Yeah.
every time I'm just angry about something, I just press the button.
We'll just put in Charlie Brown.
Dear Lord, no, because it just hurts my ears
No,
every
that's
time you do
Og.
Mm-hmm.
Mine's Arg.
The Charlie Brown soundboard.
This is how much of a goofball I am. So, the Charlie Brown Great Pumpkin is 50 years old this year.
Oh,
Yep.
wow.
And McDonald's is having, as their Happy Meals come in buckets that are the Charlie Brown Great Pumpkin. And so I went to McDonald's just on purpose. I said, hey, I want the Charlie Brown bucket. They're like, we can't sell them separately. I say, well, what do you charge if people just want a toy? They said 79 cents. Like, well, charge me for that, and I want the Charlie Brown one. So they come back with the fucking Linus one. I'm like, no, I want Charlie Brown. They're like, what is this for your kid? I'm like, no, it's for me. Give me my fucking Charlie Brown bucket.
That's awesome.
So I got my Charlie Brown bucket.
Is it that thing laying on the floor over there? Being completely disrespected?
No. Is it orange or is it purple?
I don't know. It's orange.
Oh, then it is my Charlie Brown bucket that my kid probably picks up and doesn't give a shit about me for.
Yeah.
Have you watched it recently?
No, I keep on... is it on Blu-ray? I want to get it on Blu-ray.
There's a collection of Peanut specials on Blu-ray, but I saw it on YouTube for like a 99 cents. It was fine. It still holds up.
Yeah, they're cute films.
I still love the beginning of it where he goes, "You didn't tell me you were gonna kill it."
So anyways, cool.
Lucy carves the pumpkin to see it.
Yeah.
He thinks it's homicide.
Yeah, guys. Charlie Brown.
Cool.
Bye.
Bye.
Happy Halloween.
Bye.
No.
Real Nerds is a Nebulous Visions multimedia production. We would also like to thank Sparks Mandrill for our music. Additional music from Ben Sounds. Thank you to Alamo Drafthouse. Thank you to Colorado Coins, Cards, and Comics. And thank you for listening to the Real Nerds Podcast.